He is a recipient of the Chief of Army Staff Commendation Letters and Invention Medals. Major General Arogundade is passionate about human capital development as a critical asset for optimal productivity at the workplace. He has published 2 books in this regard. He headed the committee that wrote a book on mentoring for young soldiers in the Nigerian Army. He delivered awareness lectures on mentoring for young soldiers and emotional intelligence in all the 8 Nigerian Army divisions in 2023. He was a guest speaker at the Wema Bank Leadership Series of May 2023, where he shared leadership thoughts with over 100 top management staff of the bank. He is a fellow of the following organizations: Integrated Institute of Professional Management, National Defense College, and the Nigerian Army Resource Center, Nigeria. He belongs to various professional bodies, amongst others, the Nigerian Institute of Management, the Society for Peace Studies and Practice, the Nigerian Society of Engineers, and the Abuja Literary Society. He was a member of faculty at the prestigious National Defense College, Abuja, Nigeria. He was the commander, Technical Group EME, Mada Barracks, Yaba, Lagos. Presently, Major General Arogundade is the 37th Commandant of the Nigerian Army School of Electrical and Mechanical Engineering, Auchi, Edo State, Nigeria, a position he has held since July 2023 till date. He enjoys nature watching, mentoring, critical thinking, and playing golf in his leisure time. He is happily married with children. Men and brethren, please join me as I welcome on stage this morning Major General Dele Arogundade as he takes us on this wonderful journey. Thank you so much and welcome, General.
Thank you very much, Dr. Banito, for that lengthy introduction. Good morning to every participant. If you can hear me, I just want you to type 1 in the chat room. If you can hear me, just type 1. Great. Yes, I can see Mania Falabi there. Yes. Okay. Yes, Reverend Arogundade, my cousin. You're welcome, sir. All right. Okay, let's not waste time. It's a pleasure to be with us this morning. And we're going to be discussing, as a follow-up to what was started yesterday. I was privileged to be part of what started yesterday. Emotional intelligence, something I'm very passionate about. And I'm sure Dr. Ifoma Eze has laid the background very well with Dr. Banito. So, but I will continue from there. As much as possible, I will make this session very interactive and lively and with life examples. Many of us can always read the book. So just, Dr. Banito, I will direct on how the slides will move. So just let the slide hold on there. Okay, so we'll just dive into this straight. We're looking at social intelligence. A lot of terms in this space are used interchangeably. So when you see social intelligence, you see social skills, you see people skills, you see social skills. There are differences, but well, most of them are just used interchangeably, but we'll try to just draw the lines between them as much as possible. So I want to ask, please, what is social intelligence? What do you understand by social intelligence? You can just type in the chat room so that let me see what our own view on what social intelligence is all about. Please type, let us be fast, our time has gone, but please, it's an interactive class, an adult class. So I want to hear your views. Social intelligence, what do you think it is all about? Anybody? Please don't be shy. Emmanuel, can I have your view? Just type in the chat room while we're waiting for Emmanuel A2B. If you can you just type and let us know what's your understanding of social intelligence? Just type in the chat room. Okay, thank you, Emmanuel. Social intelligence is the ability to read and properly react to social signals, monitor, understand, and manage one's own emotions. I think Emmanuel should just take over this class. If it is not AI assisted, then I think you should just collect a certificate and go home. Nice one, Emmanuel. All right. Let's see what I have here. Next slide, please. Social intelligence is the ability to understand and manage interpersonal relationships. Social intelligence is the ability to understand and manage interpersonal relationships. That is, as I said, there are other definitions, but this to me captures the whole essence of social intelligence. Ability to understand and manage interpersonal relationships. And this is very, very important. And I'll tell you a story. One of my bosses, who is a mentor to me, is retired now. He came to me when I was serving at the National Defense College as a member of faculty. And he said, Dele, don't be like me. Dele, don't be like me. And I was wondering why he said so. He said, you see, while I was in service, I did some things and I also behaved in some ways which I'm not proud of. And you, as my mentee, I don't want you to be like that. I want you to get to the peak of your career. And you begin to wonder, what are these things? I got to know about them. This retired general, he was a one-star general when he was retired. He couldn't become a two-star general. While he was in service, he was very, very brilliant, had a very high IQ. At young ranks, he held some very powerful appointments. But he had some character issues. He was very proud because he was very intelligent. And he talks, he doesn't give a damn. He talks anyhow to people, and he just talks. So a lot of people are not very happy with him. And when they went for the promotion board, I was not there, but as I was told, in the promotion board, the first time, let's say out of about 50 people that went for the promotion board, he was number one based on all the paperwork and everything. But when it was time to make a decision in which other factors comes in, they said, we cannot work with him. And that was why his name was dropped from number 1 to 0. He missed promotion. The second time again, he went for the board, and all the different board members again gathered and everything. And said most of the board members who said, no. This man does not have good human relationship. He doesn't relate to people very well. And that was how, from number 1 position, his name was not dropped to 2, 3, 5, 10, or 20. He was removed entirely from the promotion list. And eventually, he was retired. He was retired not because he was not competent, but because he lacked what is called social skills. Social skills. He had high intelligence quotient, but he lacked social skills. He was not socially intelligent, and that's how he left service. So he told me not to be like him. And this is a problem that we have not just in the military, but even in the civil world, where people think because they are brilliant, they get arrogant. And I tell people, and please take note of this, your intelligence quotient, your IQ, can get you into an organization. It can get you a job. Just the way they say you must have a 2-1, you must have first class before you can be employed in a job or in an organization. But when you get to that organization, for you to get to the peak of your career, you need more than IQ. That's why emotional intelligence comes in. And a vital aspect of emotional intelligence is social skills. Social skills. We talked about in emotional intelligence, you talk about the self-awareness, you talk about the self-regulation, you talk about motivation, you talk about empathy. The last but not the least is social skills. And some scholars have said that social skills actually form up to 85% of emotional intelligence, because social skills has to do with relationships, which is very, very crucial. Whether we like it or not, we are social human beings. Nobody can exist in isolation. Nobody. So it is very important that we take these things very, very seriously. So go to the next slide. Next slide. Continue. Yeah, I've said this. Okay, you can stop here. So please let us take note of this. Relationships, it's very crucial to every human being. Now let us look at importance. What are the importance of social skills? Next slide. Social skills help us to communicate more effectively and efficiently. If you have developed your social skills, it will help in communicating effectively and efficiently. Communication is very crucial to every one of us. And whether we like it or not, all of us here are leaders at various levels. We are leaders at various levels, whether in the home or in the office. So it is very, very important that we take note of this. Social skills also help us to build, maintain, and grow relationships with colleagues, with clients, and with new contacts. Social skills help us to build, maintain, and grow relationships with colleagues, clients, and new contacts. Please, I want you to take note of all these words because I've chosen them carefully. To build, maintain. There's difference between building and maintaining. It's just like now when you build a house, it's not just enough to build a house. You need to maintain it, because if you don't maintain it, after a time the house will collapse. The same thing with relationships. When you build relationships over time, you need to maintain it by calls, by interactions, and not the rest. Then you grow it over time. And this can be with your colleagues, it can be with clients, it can be with new contacts, and it can even be with family members. I'm sure we have been told that the big picture, which is emotional intelligence, is applicable to every human being living on the surface of the earth. So we should need to take note of that. Next slide. Social skills also facilitate active listening. Is very, very important. Active listening. If you don't listen actively, you cannot really say you are good in social skills. But one very important thing about social skills is the fact that social skills can be developed. It can be developed with training and with experience. And that's why it's different from IQ. When somebody is born brilliant, because yes, it's very brilliant, it remains like that. But emotional intelligence, in which social skill is a subject, you can build it. That's a very peculiar and good aspect of it. You can keep growing in it all through your life. And you see, personally, I've seen it in my own life, that I've gotten better over the years by being intentional, practicing these things. Somebody said, God gave us one mouth and two ears, Why? He wants us to listen more and talk less. One mouth and two ears, so that you can listen more and talk less. Many people are very poor in listening. So it is very, very important for us to take note of this, that when you practice social skills, when you practice it, it helps you to develop your listening capability. And as a leader at any level, or even as an entrepreneur, if you are able to listen actively, to understand even the said and the unsaid, it will help you to be able to be effective in any sphere of life. Another one is empathy. Empathy, putting yourself in somebody's shoes, not just assuming, not just being preemptive. Putting yourself in somebody else's shoes. Its social skills helps you in that area. Perspective taking. You're able to look at things from other people's view. You know, there are some people, they'll just say, oh, it is my view or nothing. Once I've decided that this is the way this should go, nobody else. Nobody else. It is my view that must be taken. They don't listen to others. As leaders, as entrepreneurs, as workers at various levels, we need to be able to accommodate other people's opinions. Then also it helps in the area of conflict resolution. When you have social skills, when you're able to listen actively, when you have empathy, when you're able to communicate effectively, it helps you in building and maintaining relationships. And I have this to say, that as leaders, we must strive to build relationships, not to burn bridges. Please take note of that. We must strive to build relationships, not to burn bridges. Whether in the home, whether in our religious settings, in the community, where we play games, in wherever, where we go for recreations, or in our workplace, with your co-workers, with your subordinates, it is important that we should strive. And as I said, I choose my words carefully as a strategic leader. I said we must strive to build relationships, not to burn bridges. It may not be absolute, but we must make conscious efforts to build relationships and not to burn bridges. Please, if you are following me, I want you to type 3 in the chat box. If you are following me, just type 3 in the chat box. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. So let me just share one other experience about this issue of building relationships, not burning bridges. When I was in the staff college, when I was in the National Defense College as a directing staff, I had students, participants that were in my syndicates and everything. But I made conscious effort to relate to them very well. Not because I was afraid of them. Some of them are not from Nigeria and not the rest. But I relate to them very well. I treat them like human beings. Some other directing staff say they are participants, you must, hammer on them, you must shout on them, you must do this. I said, no, they are human beings. We need to respect them. We're only privileged to be their lecturers while they are students. Do you know, this was like 2 years ago now that I've left the place. But I keep tabs with them. Once in a while I check on them and just, how are you doing? How is your office, how is your family, and all the rest. There's this particular person that is not from Nigeria. And we just keep in touch. I've written some books. I gave you some of my books before he left, and we just talk from time to time. When I was promoted to, he called and chatted with me to congratulate me. Very cordial relationship. Of recent, I'm planning to travel out of the country to attend a program and also to have some vacation. And I just got discussing with him. Oh, I'm coming to your country and everything. He said, oh, sir, no problem. Sir, how can I help you? And some of the visa requirements for that country, you have to state anybody that maybe be inviting you in a way, or just at least to give a kind of recommendation, the person has to give you his 3 months pay slip, his utility bill, and write a letter of recommendation. Do you know what I'm talking about is not something that is far. Just yesterday, I told him about it last week or thereabout. Just yesterday, he chatted me up and he said, sir, I have some information for you. He sent me is 3 months pay slip. It's in the military. Our pay is confidential. But somebody from another country sent me his 3 months details of his pay slip, not just not even pay slip alone. He sent me his bank statement for 3 months, the details, 22 pages. He sent me his utility bill, and he sent a letter of introduction that, oh, this is my senior friend and he's coming to my country. I'm ready to host him, and blah, 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 blah. If you have any information that you still need to clarify, please call me. He gave his phone number. He sent it to his embassy. You can understand. That is, relationship. A student, I never knew I would ever need his help at any point in time. He was just a student. But now he's the one that is facilitating my trip to his country. Meanwhile, on the other side, on the flip side, there was one other colleague of mine who was a directing staff, very high-handed. He treats students anyhow. So one day, he went to the immigration office. I think he had something that he needed to clarify. Lo and behold, they said he should wait for the big man. And he was waiting. And when the big man came, it happened to be his former student. This is true life story. It's not imagination. Do you know, immediately he cited him. The former student now told me, sir, please walk out of my office. The man had no option but to walk out of his office. I don't know how the story ended, but at least that issue was not sorted that day. He just told him to get out of his office. They were not ready to attend to him. Why? Because he treated him like an animal when he was his directing staff. What I'm trying to say in essence is that it's not for people to be afraid of our subordinates or to be afraid of our employees, but we need to treat them with respect and foster a good working relationship with them. And I have this to say, go to the next slide, that it's important for us to start building relationships long before we need them. Please take note of this. These are things that will help you in life, any field of endeavor. Start building relationships long before you need them. It might not be you actually that will need to use those relationships. It might be your children, it might be somebody that you need to help, it might be for any reason at all. But please build relationships long before you need them. Don't wait. There are some of us that we've had an opportunity of meeting, maybe like 5 years ago, and after we met the person, we forgot about him or her. And now, maybe it's 5 years' time now. Hey, I know somebody, so. You now just call him and say, please, I need help. If he helps you, maybe he just be magnanimous. But if there's somebody that maybe the person is not even in a very good position for now, but because this is someone that you have known, and once a while, it doesn't have to be every day or every week. Maybe in 3 weeks, you just say, oh, hello, Dele, how are you doing? How is the family? I just thought about it and I just check on you. I hope you are fine. Good, have a nice day. Pam, you leave it and you go. From time to time, when you need help, you will even feel free, happy, and confident to be able to call that person and say, oh, so and so. Because that person will see you as a true friend, not a friend of his office. Not from somebody now that maybe when he was maybe just a senior admin officer, you don't care about him, you don't call him. You don't call him. Hello? You don't call him, and you now wait until when there's a problem. That is when you now decide to call him. Now it's only an appointment, a very peculiar appointment. You now decide, okay, this is the time to call this person. It is not the way to go. We should build relationships over time so that when it is necessary for us to use that relationship or to benefit from it, it will not be something out of the blues. Now let us look at some tips to build effective relationships with our subordinates. Next slide. Good. It is important for us to, in order to build effective relationship with our subordinates, it is necessary for us to listen actively. Listen actively. You know, some of us can be very impatient when we are with our subordinates. Before they talk, say, no, no, I know where you're going. No, 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 no. You want to take an excuse to go somewhere? No, no, I'm not allowing you. Today, there's work to be done. No. Let us listen actively. Not that maybe when our subordinate is talking to us, we carry our phone and we are chatting. We are not even looking up, or we are looking elsewhere because our subordinate. No, the person will feel that you don't care and you even lose him. And the person, he or she cannot give the best. Then next is that when they are talking to us, especially as our subordinates, you don't need to interrupt them. Let them finish what they have to say before we respond. It's also important that we tune in to non-verbal communication. What are non-verbal communication? What is not said. It is very, very important. I always tell people, there's an analogy I used to give. This might not be at the workplace actually, but you see, let's say a guy now that has gone to toast a lady. I'm just trying to give an example of non-verbal communication. How we need to read. A lady does like this. A guy is talking to a lady and the lady just puts her arms across his chest. What does that portend? Please type in the comment section. A guy is talking to a lady and the lady puts her hands across her chest like this and she's not saying anything. What is she saying by this posture? Please type in the comment section. What you feel that lady is saying. I'm not seeing any response. Hello? Yes? Okay, okay. And since on chat, say what you want to say and let me go. Very good. Very good. Yes, Moses Arogundade, that's a very good one. Yes, that is a non-verbal communication. She has not spoken, but her posture has said a lot. So we need to learn to read people like a book. Yes, so that is that. Then another thing is we need to call our subordinates by first name. It is optional, but in a way, it has a way of bonding. When there's a difference between somebody that calls me General Arogundade and another person that calls me Dele, or my secondary school mates that call me Arogs. If I'm at the airport, in a busy airport, anywhere in the world, let's say I'm at Heathrow Airport, and I hear Arogs, I will look back. It shows that that person knows me deeply. And for you to be able to connect to your subordinates, one of the ways is not that is all in all. Anything I'm saying is not cast in stone, but it has served over time. These are things I've practiced in my years in the military. And also, I know civilians who have been practicing them. They call their subordinate their first name, and it gives a bond. They're able to open up to you the more. But please, I want to give a caveat. I said this about subordinates. Please try as much as possible not to call your bosses, superiors, by first name. They can do that in the US or some other countries. There's also what is called cultural intelligence. It's very, very important. You must take note of the culture of a place. Because of the way we are in Africa, those kind of things does not really work, especially with our superiors. Some organizations say we are doing flat management stuff, that so everybody can always call. I remember my son working in an organization. He came home one day, said, "Daddy, my boss said I should be calling her by first name, and she's married and she has a son." I said, "Just find a way. Just put Mrs. If her name is Tola, just put Mrs. Tola. It's better that way." Because I don't feel comfortable doing it. Yes, because that's the way he has been trained. is to respect elders. So to come and start calling our boss who is married with his son, to come and start calling her by first name, if it felt strange to him. You understand? So that's some of the things, but we must balance those things. Okay, go. Next slide. We need to smile once in a while. It gives hope to our subordinates. Next slide, please. It's also good for us to encourage our subordinates. Sometimes they make mistakes. We need to condone genuine mistakes. No, go back to the next slide. Back and help. Okay, it's okay. So you need to condone genuine mistakes. And it is important for us to no back. I will tell you when to change the slide. Go back. Yes. Give genuine recognition. Next slide. Stay here. Give genuine recognition and praise. I've met bosses that feel that if you praise, let's say a soldier now, if you praise him, that I said he will start swelling or he start misbehaving. No. We must be conscious about recognizing good deeds, and when somebody has done well, praise him. And please, I also encourage us wherever we are working, either in the private sector or in the public sector, when somebody has done very, very well, there's nothing stopping you as a boss from giving that person a letter of commendation. Let's do it. It goes a long way to motivate that person. It goes a long way to encourage that person. I remember giving somebody a letter of commendation at the time, and the first he said that in his 3 years or so of service, that nobody has given a letter of commendation. And it shows that he was pained over the years that he has been working so hard, but they don't really recognize his hard work. So it is important for us to put it at the back of our mind to write it. In fact, some people value that letter of commendation more than even you giving them money. It shows that you recognize what they are doing. And one of the ways that I do that, I've been doing it for years, but in my present place now as a commandant of a school, is that when my students report to school, I get their database of their birthdays. And on their birthday, I write them a birthday letter. Go to the next slide. Yes, this is a copy of a letter I write. I don't delegate the signing. I sign it personally. I remember one of the young soldiers, a private soldier that was giving this letter. They said, Commandant is calling you. Commandant, what have I done? They said when he got to the office, my military assistant said he was shaking. The boy even now he was now talking about it when we were having a meeting one day. They will call it Doba, a meeting with soldiers. And he said, sir, when I got to your office and the MA told me I was just shaking, he said, Commandant, I asked letter for you. I was, what have I done? Then when he opened, he now saw a birthday letter written to him, signed by the commandant with his green biro. And the next thing was that they now said, take this customized pen. Go to the next slide. Yes, that a pen like this pen costs about 500 naira or so. That normally they will always use a biro or something. That this one with his name on it, it is for him. And he was like, he was shocked. But that's just to show you how value is placed on people. You are a soldier, but you are valuable. Some of these people, I remember some years back, I did it in a unit my chief clerk that time, who has spent almost 35 years in service, he said him does not even remember his birthday. Nobody has ever done his birthday for him or reminded him. That me and I called him now, gave him a gift, and everybody, they were clapping for him on his birthday. He was almost shedding tears. He said in his life, he will never forget. I call these things little things that matter. Remembering to wish somebody happy birthday alone blows their mind. Even bosses. So we should learn to celebrate people. All right. So let's go to the next slide. Yes, hold it there. Please take note of this. Don't create a toxic environment in your workplace when your subordinates are afraid to express their opinions or relate with you as a leader. Very, very important. We are talking about social intelligence. These are things that people don't take note of, but they really matter. Don't create a toxic environment. And I'm very intentional about it. Even in the school where I'm heading now, I always tell my instructors that please ensure that you create a congenial learning environment, a congenial, not toxic environment for your students. Let them feel free to learn, to express their views and their opinions in the class. It helps. And in your workplace too, whether you are self-employed or you are working in an organization in the public sector or in the private sector, don't create a toxic environment where everybody is always shaking. Oga has come and everybody is vibrating and they are afraid. Because if they do this, maybe they do a draft for you and you feel that the draft is not good enough, and the next thing is that you see the draft, you just throw it at their face, say, what kind of rubbish is this? Go. What have you written? What is this? And you call yourself a graduate and not the rest. Those things, they don't augur well. It is very, very important that we don't create a toxic environment in our workplace. And I have this to say. It's my quote. The next slide, please. Next slide. Okay. I said, give your subordinates wings to fly. Give your subordinates wings to fly. Provide resources for assigned tasks and condone genuine mistakes. Be a mentor, not a tormentor. I will explain this briefly. It's something like something that encapsulates my thoughts on this social intelligence. And I have it. In fact, some of my students in where I'm the commandant went and did a big frame and put this there. They said it means a lot to them. And this is what I practice. And I enjoy you to practice it in your workplace. Give your subordinates wings to fly. I'm not saying that you should turn your subordinates to birds or eagles. What I'm saying in essence is that, allow your subordinates to use their initiative. Let them express what they have. Everybody carries something peculiar on their inside. Everybody is unique. Don't stifle them. Don't stifle creativity in your workplace. Don't say because you are their boss, you know everything. Give them wings to fly. Allow them to express themselves. Allow them to take some decisions, to use their initiative. Then when you give tasks to your subordinates, learn to provide resources for assigned tasks. In the army, especially, this was a big issue some time ago. Yeah, go and do this work. Do this. Then they tell you the way and manner you accomplish the task is your own business, because you are the one that is looking for promotion. That is a bad one, a bad way, negative way. And I've championed for the past 4 years or thereabout. I've been championing this course in the army. And you, in your own workplace too, you can champion it. Learn to provide resources for assigned tasks. Don't just something that will cost 20,000, you give them 15,000. Say, my friend, just go and manage that one and just do it. They will give you a managed work and not come out the best. Provide resources, human, material, and all necessary resources. It might not be only money, it might be the people, it might be other information that they need. Please provide it. And when your subordinates make genuine mistakes, please condone those genuine mistakes. I told you I choose my words carefully. Genuine mistakes. When somebody has been doing something 3, 4, 5 times, it's no longer a genuine mistake. It is deliberate. And at that moment, you need to take definitive actions. But when there are genuine mistakes, please condone it. Then, last but not least, in that aspect, be a mentor, not a tormentor. There are some people, instead of mentoring their subordinates, they are tormenting them. They shout on them, they abuse them, they do all sorts. They make them feel little. Please don't be a tormentor, be a mentor. That will help you in expressing and also showing that you are socially intelligent and also building your social skills. All right, now let us look at how we can build effective relationships with our superiors. Good. I said it is important for us to know their personalities, what they like and what they don't like. If many of us are able to get this right, especially those of us that have superiors in our place of work or in our business, if you know how this works, know the personality of your bosses, what they like and don't dislike, it will reduce up to 60-65% of the problems we have in our workplace. Even for those that we think feel that they are very toxic, just know what they want. For instance, your boss likes to come to work by 8 in the morning. The former boss comes to work by 9. But this one, he likes to work on time, comes to work early, and so I can close on time. And you, because you have been used to the former one, you comes to work by 9 or 10. You two now start coming to work by 8:30 or 9. And the man comes before you and he sees you and start abusing you that you are very lazy, you are not committed and all the rest. And you feel that, and this man, and after now, he said they fear God, oh, maybe the man a pastor self. And look at what he's doing. Look at the way he's so hard and this one. But you know what the man likes? Punctuality. So why don't you give him what he likes? It's not the same as former one. Everybody is different. So you need to know. Some people have very neat, they like neat environment. So why do you keep your table untidy? You just like seeing files all over the table. It feels that you have a lot of files on the table. That means you're a lazy person. You have been either chatting or watching TV. That's why your table is still filled with files. So what happens? You come early in the morning, treat your files, and clear your table instead of putting files all over. Understand the personality of the bosses so that you'll be able to work with them effectively. I tell people, it looks small, but this practically has caused problems. Your boss is an Arsenal fan. Arsenal played a match yesterday, and Arsenal lost the match. Arsenal has not won a cup for some years. The next day you get to work and you are talking with your boss, and next you say, look at those Arsenal people, very useless. Look at the way they are playing as if they are chicken legs, and they lost that match. They ought to have won. Your boss is just, he's not talking of just breathing somehow. With that, you have annoyed that man. Because one way or the other, you have not empathized with him on his loss. This does not have to do with the work in your workplace, but it affects him and his personality. And the next time, maybe you come, maybe about 2 hours after you are coming to us, say, I want to go somewhere. The next thing, the man will just say, where are you going? Or you just brought a draft or make a request. He just shout on you. You start wondering, but me and this man, we don't have any problem before now. Why is this? It is because his team lost and you cannot empathize with him. You are abusing his team. That's why he will not tell you. But these are little things that have caused strained relationships. Because the man feels that you hate what he likes. You don't empathize with him. You don't empathize with him when you don't put yourself in his shoes that he has lost. Because things like football, some people are so fanatical about these things. So understand him and don't cross his path. I remember when I was a young officer, some 20 years ago, I had a boss. I was his military assistant who likes women. The man is fearfully made, if you understand what I'm saying. But he likes women and he has money. Young girls, coppers, they will come. Because I'm his military assistant, they will have to come and sit in my office first, get to know if he's expecting or not before I'll now let him know when he's free to have them. And some of them will come. In fact, there's this particular one will be making eyes, speaking with her eyes, non-verbal communication, and her face, making all sorts because he likes a young, dashing military assistant who is just getting to 30. Meanwhile, my boss was in about 50 something, and he's fearfully made. But the man has money, so he's a sugar daddy one way or the other. But me, I'll just maintain straight face. I'll just face my front. I do, because I know that if I cross that path, the news will get to him that, oh, so this young boy is trying to struggle get with me because he thinks it's fine. when he will descend on me with sledgehammer, he will not say it's because of that. There are so many ways to kill a rat now. So many ways to kill a rat. So you just go boom, and you find a way to just, attack me. Many years later, I saw this lady who was working somewhere. I said, all those people are doing those times. It's not that maybe you're not beautiful or anything, no. But apart from the fact that I was married, if I need to even do girls, it is not you that is the girlfriend of my boss that will come and start, playing with or doing some rubbish with. No. But people do it. I've seen it. I'm not telling you story. It happens. It happens. That people have entered trouble. In fact, somebody shared his story with me, but I don't have time to tell you the whole story now. Eventually, I said, why is this man pursuing me? That what you did, so. So that's this thing that came, always sitting in your office. He said, he didn't know that the man almost crucified him because he felt he was looking at where he was looking. So we need to know the personality of our bosses. Very important. We need to read their moods and facial expressions before you make some requests. It is very, very important. Then when you are presenting problems, maybe in the office now, ink of printer has finished, maybe an AC is not working and all the rest. Don't just carry those problems and go and present to him. Suggest solutions, bring options. Sir, this thing is not working. However, we can decide to buy a new one. If you buy a new one, option one, a new one will cost 300,000. But sir, I'm not sure we have enough money in the office that to take care of that, because you must not give your boss the impression that you want to finish his money. That is another one that Harvard will not teach you. Then, secondly, the second option is we can buy Tokumbo. Tokumbo will cost 180,000, but sir, in 3 months, the Tokumbo might pack up. Then the last option is for us to repair it. I know a very good technician that can repair this, and with about 80,000, excuse me, he will fix the component, and so I will not have a problem with it again. You now leave the man to make his decision. And when he makes a decision, abide by that decision. Very, very important. Then if your boss has given an instruction and you feel otherwise about it, it is important for you to have an effective relationship with him, to commend him first. Sir, that was a very good one. But sir, however, I'm just thinking that maybe we can look at it this way because of so and so. Don't ever give the impression that your boss does not know. Because your boss might just be having a first degree, maybe you even have a PhD, and the man is even feeling intimidated normally by your academic prowess. So when you now come and want to prove that you know more than him, he will show you that he's the boss. And those are some of the reasons why people have problems in the workplace. All right, so go to the next one. Yes. No, back. Yes. All right, I said how to relate with toxic or difficult bosses. First, always look for a common ground. You have to find it. I'm telling you, look for a common ground. No matter how difficult that person is, there's something he or she likes. Look for that common ground. It might be that football. It might be that even one day, maybe Friday, they say everybody dress down. The man, his club is Barcelona. On that Friday, wear Barcelona t-shirt and come to work. Honestly, the man will smile. Some of these things, they work like magic. I'm telling you, but anything I'm telling you today, there are things I've tested over the years. Me, I'll be privileged to work with interesting, I don't call them toxic, I call them interesting bosses. At a stage in my career, I was thinking, God, why? I didn't know that someday I'm going to be involved in emotional intelligence and things that has to do with issue of social intelligence and all the rest. But I work with very interesting bosses. But I found out that one of the things that helped me was getting a common ground to operate with them. One of them that I work with somewhere in the north, he liked golf. Who? What is there? We're even far away from family because, family cannot be moving to us in the military everywhere. That's why I want to buy golf kits and golf dresses and everything. I started playing golf. We go and play golf, even though I'm not a very keen lover. But I know that one of the ways to go to is always in good mood when he's playing golf. So I carry my golf car and be playing. And as I play, say, hey, Dele, oh, so how is working your place and everything? I just, we talk. And yeah, I might tell him, sir, it's been about a month now that I'm not going to see my family. And I think I should just, since we are not too busy now, I should go and say, okay, after teeing off, just walking, the caddies are carrying the golf kit and we're just coming. I say, okay, no problem. Maybe you can just, sir, so how many days are you looking at? I said, sir, maybe I can just take 7 days, sir, so that I can source someone. No problem. Tomorrow, just apply. And the next thing, people start asking, say, oh boy, you and this man, you're not from the same place. Everybody's afraid of this man. But you enter, you want to travel, he gives you time to travel. And the man doesn't shout on you. I'll just be smiling. You don't know the secrets. Understand this man. Have a common ground with him. Some people, they will just apply, they want to travel. They will sit in the office. Because they want to prove that, well, me too, I'm a senior manager. They will write application to travel, so, I want to take casual leave. They will never discuss with the man. And as the man will say, just say not approved. They not be and wonder, why is that not doing like this? But another person would have gone earlier to go and meet the boss, maybe gist with him and everything. Now the man is doing well, trying to change his organization before now putting their request. You have made him happy first, and you now put your request. You discuss, you say, no, why don't you leave it till next week? Because me too, I'm traveling this week, but next week I will be free. The next by the time you put it, it's approved. I'm telling you. In fact, let me give you another example. This one happened, was it last month, about 2 months ago? There's this big boss of ours that even to see him in the office is so busy and everything. Then we now went for a program somewhere, and now discovered that we ate in a big hall, everybody ate, and when the man had finished eating, people are laughing and everything. I just timed it that he was sitting alone. I just went and sat by his side. Even I got to his side, and I just greeted and everything. I said, sir, there's this project and everything. I said, that project is a dead project, this and that, nobody is revisiting again. No, that in fact, our big boss has sent that case to. I said, sir, please, sir, so and so, this is very important to my school and everything, and we need this project cannot be abandoned, this one. But then I told him, finish, he said, you have a point there. So okay, go on, right, let's see how you do. To cut the long story short, this was last month. No, it happened in May. I wrote first week of June. By the last week of June, the big boss that said the project was dead has approved money for that project to be resurrected. That's how I put it. Why? The man I could not see in the office, he finished eating in a place where, a relaxed atmosphere. I just cornered him and I told him my problems, and it was sorted. This project has been abandoned for about 1 year. Well, the money has been released now. So we need to understand people and find a common ground where we can relate and talk. It might be any other place. It might be in the mosque after prayers, or it might be in the church. Don't you know there are some people that time that they were going to Aso Rock Chapel those days when some other people were president? It's not because they like God so much, or they understood some of these things, little things, that they know that just after service, before the man gets to the car, you can just quickly corner or sit close and just say, sir, so. I'm telling you, even me, I know my soldiers that do it. And some of their problems have been solved. Just when we finish, by the time we finish Thanksgiving, everybody trying to come out of church, they just quickly come and say, 3 minutes, they have mentioned their problem. And I say, okay, tell my military assistant or this is one. And the problem is sorted. So we need to understand some of these things. People that feel difficult and everything, they are people. In fact, some of them, there are people that they don't say no to. You need to understand how these things work. They don't say no to them. So when you get that person, you can say, please, let me mention this to Oga. And to be sorted. Our time is 5 months. Okay. Yes, don't try to outshine your boss. That is self-explanatory. No matter what you have achieved, learn to be humble. Then be diplomatic in your approach. So people say, you know me, I'm a very militant person and everything. Don't be militant. So if you want to grow your career, you need to learn to be diplomatic in your approach to issues. Then carry your bosses along. Give feedbacks. When they give you a task, don't wait for the man to come and ask you. He has given you work since last week. Even though you have problems, addressing the issue, get back to the man and give him a feedback. Many leaders, even me personally, I like it. I don't want to come and give you a task and I'll be the one asking you that how far. You should come and tell me and be briefing me, carry me along. It goes a long way. Then in this area, choose your battles. Choose your battles. Very important. Very important. Choose your battles. Choose your battles. Then another thing that is important for you to take note of is the fact that peace is always better than being right. Peace, go to the next slide. Be selective in your battles. Sometimes peace is better than being right. And there's this African proverb that I quoted, which says that, next slide, if you use your head to break coconut, you may not live to eat out of it. Okay, the next slide. Let me begin to round off so that we can take some questions. Okay. Yes, I say how to use words to convey opinions to your boss. Use words like could, would, and might. They show that what you are saying is an opinion and that is not binding. It's also helps to create a distance between you and your strong opinion. For instance, let's say you want to say this now. This report is very poor and it should be revised, sir. That is more direct. But a more polite way is that you may say, you may wish to consider reviewing this report, sir. You may wish to consider. What it means is that you are suggesting, you are not making it. Anytime you say should, it is like a directive, it is definitive. Please avoid that when you are talking with your bosses. Okay, now let's look at the other aspect that I want to talk about, social capital. Social capital. All of them are related, but it's important that I mention this. Social capital can be seen as a potential ability to obtain resources, favors, or information from one's personal connection. Social capital. Anything when we have capital, just hold on this slide. Stay there. When you have capital, many of what comes to our mind is money. Money. But there's what is called social capital. It might not be money in its own, in a way, but it can be seen as potential ability to obtain resources. Resources is beyond money, favors or information from one's personal connection. I want to give a classical example to explain this. About just last month, yes, this happened last month. Earlier in the year, one of the people I look up to, like a mentor, they're a couple. The wife sent a message to me. She's very popular. If I mention the name, many of you will know the person. Very popular. But one of them, we got connected just barely a year ago, a year and a half, or less than 2 years. We got connected somehow. We went for a burial or so, and I just saw that we got talking. And that's how I was able to meet them. Under normal condition, I only see them on the stage when they are speaking or whatever. But we just got talking. And that's how we exchange numbers, and from time to time we greet and everything. She now told me that her husband was turning 70. She invited me. Wow. I felt privileged, and I planned in my head that I was going to attend that 70th birthday. Lo and behold, it cost me a lot, but I left my station. I had to go with my escorts, and then because of the roads, no flight from my place to the place. I went for that program. They were very surprised. They were very happy that, the effort we made, and I went early even, and I stayed all through. It was like for 5 days. I stayed. I didn't even go for Salah because of that. I said I wanted to go for the program. But do you know what? I went to honor them. That was what I planned to do. I didn't know that I was actually working for myself. In that circle, some other people belong to that circle that I did not know. But because I came for that program, those that belong to that circle came. One of them that came for that program, let me use name to protect him. He spoke at a place. In fact, let me say the person. The person is Fela Durotoye. Fela Durotoye spoke at a program some 15 years ago. It was a weekend program in Ilorin when I was doing one of my master's program. And up till now, I have not recovered from what Fela Durotoye said during that weekend program. It had shaped my life. And since then, I've been looking for ways to see Fela Durotoye. I've tried people that I know that are close to him. I've sent messages to him and not read nothing for 15 years since 2009. Lo and behold, Fela and Tara Durotoye walked in during one of those programs. It was an evening of worship. Hey! Immediately I saw him enter, I had goosebumps. He sat somewhere with his wife. There was a lady that was sitting close to him. Do you know what? At a stage, I could not hold myself. I said, this man, I must see him today. I just walked up to the woman that was sitting next to him. I begged her, I said, please, madam, you have to go and sit on my seat. The man sitting next to you, I have to sit down with him and talk to him. The woman obliged me. The next day I sat with him and we talked. And that is how he gave me his active number. I shared some things with him and we got talking and everything. There and then, he said, I'm going to come to your school in Auchi to come and speak to your people. If I had not gone for that meeting, to go and celebrate with someone that was celebrating, to honor somebody, I would have seen another person in circle that I've been looking for 15 years. We connected. Just yesterday, we were chatting. Since that time, I just greeted him from time to time. We talk and everything. He told me, he said, General, I'm coming to Auchi for 5 days. I'm going to have a 5 days program free of charge for your school and the Auchi people. He said, you in the army, you are doing a lot for the country. I want to assist you. This is the special assistant to the president on value system and reorientation. I was like, wow. Just yesterday, I was not even the one that begged for it. He said, just choose a time that I have a trip, or once I come back, choose a period, I'll come for 5 days. I said, wow, what more? What more can I ask for? This, what money cannot buy? This that people pay millions to come and speak for 1 hour years back. I'm talking about as far back as 2010, banks will be lining up, struggling. Sometimes 6 months, you cannot even get him. He is offering to come for 5 days, come and speak in a village called Auchi. Okay, Auchi is a town. For 5 days. That is what social capital can do. But if I have not honored somebody to try and build social capital, let me just say my Auchi and say, I want to do my work. Let me not reach out to any other person. I'm in the army, I'm a general. General will not buy me, will not get me this kind of person. And I've been desiring in my heart that this kind of person that has impacted my life, let it come and impact this people's life. It has not finished though. In that same week that I went for that program, one of my classmates that for the past 1 year I've been trying to reach him, one word that we have not able to reach each other. I've not seen him in about 34 years. He is the country lead of one ICT company. To cut the long story short, we met there. After exchanging please and everything, I said, this is why I wanted to see you, so and so. Do you know the next thing he said? He said, in fact, that was on a Wednesday. He said by Friday or so, I will make arrangement. I'll call my office and everything. To cut the long story short, he had delivered laptop computers to my school worth 15 million naira. And he said that is just the beginning. He's going to give more. That we'll be doing it for other people. So it's no problem. The laptops are already in the school now. He's going to bring more. Social capital. Favors, resources that under my country you won't be able to get. So it is very important that we take note of these things. One of my uncles too, I've not seen him in 40 years. I met him at that program, and so on and so forth. So now I want us to just look at some general tips to build social capital. Go to the next slide. I'll just rush these ones now so that I can allow questions and answers. Next slide, please. Yes, general tips to build social capital. Okay. Yeah, number one, please, as much as possible, don't assault people's sensibilities. And I'll give an example. You are a Christian, you have a Muslim friend. He comes to visit you in your house. And the next thing you say, oh, welcome my guy. What sit down, beg. Make I just I get bacon for us, make I just fry small bacon, give you. This is a Muslim. Muslims don't eat pork or anything related to pig. And you want to say he's your friend and you are offering him something and you say you are giving him bacon. Bacon is made from pig, pork. You have lost him. You are assaulting his sensibility because he doesn't take it. It might be okay for you to take, but you are not of the same religion. Don't assault people's sensibilities. Be very careful about that. The same thing has to do with posts. When you post some things, be sensitive. You are in a place that people are of different religion. Every time you always say, Muslim, okay, pray for us, pray for us, pray for us. I know there are Christians there. Use your head. You are a social being. In order to get along with people, if the opening prayer is said by a Christian, the closing prayer will be said by a Muslim, or vice versa. Carry people along. Very, very important when you work in an organization. Some of you are going to be working in international or multicultural organizations. Please take note of these things. Study the culture of your environment. Is still related to this one too. Some places, even if you are full, if they offer you food, you must not say no. I've been privileged to study in different countries. I'm a Christian, but I've studied in many Muslim countries. I've traveled to many Muslim countries, and I understand some of these things. Working in cross-cultural environments, please take note. You travel out of this country, take note of these things. When they offer you food in some countries, in some communities, you must not say, I'm full. You must eat with them. I was with one old man one time, and he was telling me, say, you don't eat in the house of your enemy. So when you're offered food, even if you are full, take a little. It shows that you accept them, and they will know that you are their friend, not an enemy. So it is very, very important to take note of that. So then it is important for you to avoid overgeneralization of opinion. Take note of that. Avoid overgeneralization of opinion. What do I mean by that? Some people, some settings, you hear people say, all men are scum. I'm sure some of us have heard it. All men are scum. Some people will say that all Yorubas, they are very stubborn. They are very stubborn. They are so and so. All Ekiti people, they are like this, they are like that. Or you say, all Igbo men, they have too much ego. That is overgeneralization. It's an opinion. It's not binding. So please avoid it. Some people, even in the office, they say that. Just talk anyhow. Yeah, everybody, all those people, that's how they are. All of them, they are very, very useless. Please avoid it. You will lose people. And you need to build, as I said, as much as possible, strive to build relationships, not to burn bridges. Then learn to love people on their own terms. Let me try and quickly give a quick example about that. You see, I've been talking about the issue of birthday. So let me go to birthday again. In fact, let me use my own home as an example. I'm more of an extrovert. My wife is more of an introvert. My wife does not like being celebrated on social media or all those kind of places. But me, because I love my wife, I want to put her picture on social media. I want to, on her birthday, I'll tell all my friends from across the world that I know, I'll send her number. Call my wife, this is her 40th birthday. Call her, celebrate her for me. Tell her I love her, tell her I miss her, even though I'm not in the country now, but I really love her. And when they call my wife and do all those things, my wife starts weeping. She starts shedding tears. That is so overwhelming for her. She cannot cope with that kind of stuff. But always be, what is your own now? People are even looking. We see many leaders outside. They are looking for people to celebrate them. Nobody to celebrate them. But me, I'm celebrating you. I'm putting you on my status. I'm putting you everywhere. And you are feeling somehow. But I didn't understand. It took me many years before I understood that you need to love people on their own terms. You don't have the same personality. Me, I don't mind. I can be on air, I can be on the internet, I can be everywhere, but she doesn't like that kind of life because she's an introvert. Her nature does not like that. But I was doing it because I didn't know. Eventually, I learned. She said she wants me to just send her a text, pray for her at home, and not put her picture, on DP, on status, on it, just do it privately. And it made us get better. People, if you say you love somebody, you must do what they love, not what you love. So meant to love people on their own terms. Some of my friends too, they will tell me privately, Dele, I know you like celebrating people, you all this birthday, wedding anniversary and everything. You have a way of knowing it. I don't know you. You are just a peculiar man being, but please, on my birthday, just pray for me or send personal message. Don't put it on any of our WhatsApp group. I beg you. I don't like that kind of attention. Because of what I've learned from my wife, I don't do it. I've learned to respect their opinions. So it is very, very important that we do that. Okay, next slide. Next slide. Okay, yes. Learn to celebrate with or mourn with people. It is important. People, when they have something to do, buy their ashoebi. Sometimes even if you not go, they say they are doing cap, taking cap, 2,000 naira, 3,000 naira, buy it and collect it. It shows you identify with them. If you can make it, please make effort. Go and celebrate with them. If they have lost a loved one, go with them. If you cannot go, support with money, no matter how small. People value all these small things. It might look small, but it is big, because Yoruba will say in your lasho, that is his people, that is like your covering clothes. If you spend a lot of money to say you want to do maybe a wedding, a birthday, a burial or whatever, and nobody shows up, you will feel naked, because people have not come. So celebrate with people, rejoice with people, mourn with people, that they can do with you also. Then okay, next one also is be mindful of posts on social media groups. Some of us, we are so religious, so religious. You have a group of your secondary school or your university or your professional organization, and the next you'll be posting morning devotion every morning, morning devotion. Nobody's asking you, because you are holier than Pope. You'll be posting morning devotion on those groups, and you know that there are Muslims there, there are Christians there, there are pagans there, there are Krishna, and all the other people there on that group. Why don't you respect that group? If your church group, you can post it there. If your mosque group, post it there. Not that you carry something that you know that people don't like, or you go and start posting obscene pictures or videos on a group. You are assaulting people's sensibility. Some people, it's even their children that carry their phones and they see all these things. So please, let us be mindful of our posts. In you building social capital, you need to be mindful of all these things. Then join relevant clubs and professional communities where you meet people of like minds that can grow along with you. You can learn from them. Like IIPM now, when I joined it, I've got to know a lot of people, and even your business will grow. You learn so many other things because you connect. Please, I'm not telling you to go and fight policemen so I can come and report to me that I have a general that I know. Okay, that's on a lighter note anyway. All right, so next slide. Next slide, please. Okay. Be very careful not to say to someone, you are too fat. Some of us, we don't know the implications of these things. That is body shaming. You will affect somebody's emotional or mental health by saying that. You don't know the effort that person is putting in to reduce that fatness in quote, or someone that is too slim. Some people are very slim, not that they like it, because it makes them feel sick and look sick. People looking at it, oh, this person is an AIDS patient. Oh, look at the way the person is so slim, like he's going to break today or tomorrow. So you say, you are just too fat. It's not good. That is body shaming. Avoid it. If you have to say to someone that you're even close to, boy, I say he adding some small flesh here and there, you can find a way to put it. But even if you can avoid, don't even say it at all. Let the husband or wife be able to go and say that. They say, you see your pot belly, it be like drum. And you think it's joke. That person, you are assaulting them, their mental health. Please try and avoid it. Some people are making a lot of effort to slim down. So don't add salt into injury by body shaming them. They never ask someone, why are you still single at 35? Some people don't know how to talk. They just open their mouth and let it run like diarrhea. Even in our workplaces, the person will hate you from the depth of his or her heart. So please take note of that. Then learn to commit names to memory. When you have met somebody, try to find a way to remember their names. It's good to say, oh, how are you, Mr. Dele? or General Dele or this, that for you to say, you Mr. or oh boy. You understand? When you are not even familiar with them, but when you know them by their names to memory, it makes the person feel welcome. Learn to compliment people. Somebody's well dressed. Talk, oh, I like your suit, I like your dress. Me, I've gotten clothes even by complimenting people. I've gotten clothes. Oh, you like this? I'll tell my tailor to make one for you. It still happened to me 2 weeks ago. In fact, it was yesterday that the man sent his tailor to come and measure me, and he said he's going to make the clothes for me free of charge. Why? I saw him wear dress, and I said, "Sir, you are looking good. Your tailor is doing a good work." He said, "Oh, very nice." One of my superiors. He said, "Okay, okay, okay, there's no problem. I'll tell my tailor to come and measure you." Yesterday, the man just measured me, and they brought expensive cashmere 7, grade 7 material. They're going to sew for me free of charge. Why? Because I complimented him. The man was happy. People value all this. They look small, but they matter to people. Maybe nobody has complimented him about the fine clothes and expensive clothes he used to wear. Okay, next slide. I'm almost done, please. Okay. Look for go back. Go back next. Okay. Look for common grounds or icebreakers. And this is a tip on how you can on how you can make start conversations. You are meeting somebody for the first time. You go to a gathering you're not really familiar with. Look for common grounds. Euro 2024 is going on now. Say, how did you see the last match between? You look for the country. Maybe you say, okay, this Spain is in the finals now. How do you see? Do you think they can beat England? Look at the way Netherlands, the way they played. Most men will like football. If you see that the man does not like football, switch to something else. Look at there's first scarcity. Almost everybody buy fuel. You just look for something. The price of something is going up. Find a common ground. That is how to get icebreakers, and from there, you strike off a conversation. You need to make friends. Learn to make friends. Look for common ground. You understand? So many examples, even in the Bible, when Jesus Christ was at the well, the woman that came there, she's a Samaritan, he is a Jew. They don't talk together at all. Jews and Samaritans, they are sworn enemies. He was at the well where there's water. He asked the woman, "Give me water." The woman said, "No, how did you come here without you don't have any cup and everything, even we don't talk together." That's how they struck a conversation, and from there they were able to talk, and the woman was able to accomplish what he alone would have been able to accomplish physically. But that's for that theological class. I just brought that to know that it's always good for us to look for icebreakers. Look for a common ground. And as an icebreaker, to strike a conversation with somebody you are meeting for the first time. That's how to make friends. It's very, very important. We need to make friends. Think critically before you talk. I've mentioned that. Demonstrate honor to people. Give gifts to people. When you are going to see somebody, you are going to see an elderly man or even somebody that you have not seen in a long time, look for a gift and carry, no matter how small. And that can open doors for you. Because people that think they are rich, they value gifts because maybe many people don't even give them. So please take note of that. Then let's go to the next slide. I'm done now. No. Okay, yeah. Comment a view or effort before you correct. Okay, I've said that. Collaborate, don't compete with your teammates. Try and collaborate. When a decision is taken as a team and it fails, don't point fingers, but take collective responsibility. If we have decided as a team, we are going right, and it fails, you are suggesting left. Don't be hammering on it. Say, I told you people, I have told you before, I was supposed to give left. No, now we are going right now, things have changed. No, don't do it. If a team has decided it's a collective decision, everybody take responsibility and say, we have a team, we have not failed, we have actually learned. Next time we'll do it better. Okay, in conclusion, we have been talking and said a lot of things. Go to conclusion. A lot have been said. The PowerPoint will be available. Social capital, social intelligence is very, very important. We are social beings. All of us are social beings. And it is important that we make every effort to live at peace with all men, no matter how, in quote, seemingly difficult or toxic they are. You can, just in your mind, think of them as interesting people. Find a common ground to, relate with them. Be diplomatic in your approach. Respect people. Know the boundaries between that they want to be kept, and Work with them. Someone that wants his work in so and so place and is your boss, give it to him. Call from time to time to say hello, to check on how they are faring. Their children are writing exams. Find out. It goes a long way. And finally, I want to say, build your social capital. It pays dividends more than money in the long run. Thank you very much for your attention. Go to the next slide. Just okay, continue. Continue. Yes, build your social capital. It pays dividends more than money can buy. I have some recommended books that I've shared, and the last one is my book, 7 Practical Steps to Thrive in the Marketplace. Go scroll on. Yes, these are different books that can help you. Yes, 7 Practical Steps to Thrive in the Marketplace is my book. If you are interested, you can arrange for you to get it. It's just 4,000 naira, but it's filled with practical steps, live examples, and all the rest. Thank you very much. I really appreciate. Thank you very much for your time. I hand over to Dr. Benito as we go to the next stage.
Wow. This is beyond mind-blowing. This is definitely beyond mind-blowing. Thank you so much, General, for taking the time to be with us here today. I would say that I've seen more than what I ever expected in this particular program. Thank you. Please, shall we appreciate Major General Dele Arogundade for this time he has shared with us from YouTube, from Zoom. Please, let's just give him a resounding applause. If you are on YouTube, please go ahead, give him a resounding applause. If you are on the Zoom class, please give him a resounding applause. This is beyond deep. I definitely knew I was going to learn something in this class anyway. I knew and I was prepared for this class, irrespective of the fact that I'm among the facilitators, but I'm telling you, I've really learned something. Thank you so much, General. Thank you so much. We understand how busy your schedule could be, but you still made it a point of duty to be here this morning. Thank you so much. So we're going to take very quick questions from the Zoom class, from the YouTube. Please, those of us on YouTube, just put your question in the chat room or in the comment section. I will read it out as fast as possible. So in the next 7-10 minutes, we'll be out of this particular section. So the questions, we expect your questions. If you're in the Zoom class, you can just raise your hand and make your comment or ask your question. You raise your hand and then you'll be allowed to ask your question. If you're on the YouTube platform, just paste your questions there. Okay. And if you're on the YouTube platform and you've not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel right away. We also have our WhatsApp link that has been shared on the YouTube platform. So it's not a spamming link, it's a real WhatsApp link. So you can go ahead and join us on our WhatsApp so that you can get all the updates about our programs. Thank you so much one more time, General. So we expect to have the questions starting from the Zoom. Do we have any question? Please, you can just raise your hand and then you'll be given the privilege to ask a question. Okay. Okay, so I'm seeing more of comments from the YouTube channel. They say, thank you so much, General. Thank you. From Abu Ruth, he said, thank you so much for this exposure. Remain blessed. From Ribido, Philip, he said, thank you so much, sir. From Olayele Omabalaji, said, splendid delivery from Major General Dele Arogundade. You connected to your audience and made a great impact. Thank you, sir. All right. From Victor Echi, he said, as leaders, we must strive to build relationship, not to burn bridges. Okay. So we have good comments from Oseni Omotayo. Say, thank you, sir, Major General Dele Arogundade, for the insightful lecture. That's wonderful. So we've had Jennifer said, very important. The person know how he or she looks already. They don't need you to point it out. All right. So she's commenting on what you say. It was okay. So do we have questions? Questions. Okay, from the Zoom class, we have Emmanuel. He said, okay, first from Moses Tunde. He said, thank you so much. Emmanuel said, outstanding presentation, General. That means say, thank you so much, sir. We appreciate
Thank
you
you very
greatly,
much.
General. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
Moses said, life-changing presentation. Okay, so even the pastor is being changed by the message of a general. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so do I have questions? Do you have okay, now while we take any question coming from anywhere, okay, Steve from the YouTube, we have as superb say thank you very much for this new innovation. Emmanuel Ibok say thank you so much, General. God bless you. Memuna Adamu said, this is a very great presentation, so timely and relevant. From Callistus Ekechukwu, who happens to be my very great cousin and uncle, he said, thanks so much, sir. You have made my day. It was awesome listening to you. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so we have from Deborah Ayeni, she said, thank you, Major General Arogundade, for the educative, informative, and insightful section. It has been wonderful. Okay, please, for those of us just joining, General made a good recommendation of some books, but remember that General himself is also an author, and he has shared one of his books. I remember the day I visited his office, he told me about this particular book, and that was when he was writing it. He gave me one and told me about this one. It was still in process then. 7 practical tips to thrive in the marketplace. General, is this available online? Can we get it online?
Yes, it's available. And also the physical copy too is available. The e-copies is 2,000. And anybody, I can give my email address. They just send me a mail and we'll find it. We'll send it the e-copies. Then the hard copy is 4,000 naira. Available in Abuja, but if outside Abuja, you need to maybe pay for it to be sent by courier. But if you want the e-copies, yeah, they just give you my email address, which I can just type, or they have it. IPM, they have it, and send me a mail.
I'm going to share general details on the screen. Please remember, General said, don't go and fight a policeman and then come to have in mind that you have one general somewhere who can rescue you. Okay. So please, the contacts being shared are purely on confidence. So please don't use it to fight trouble.
Yes,
because if you use it to
please
fight trouble,
don't
you will
abuse
never
access.
fight general.
Is
I'm sure you will never fight.
Yeah, it's another thing too that is important, as you build social capital. Learn not to abuse the privilege of access. Very, very important.
Okay. I think, yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay, so on the screen, you see General's information on about his email.
Is at the bottom of the profile.
Yeah, on the bottom. So I'm going to call both out, the phone number and the email address. For those on YouTube, you can get the information showing on your screen. So you just see it on your screen. On the email, delearox@gmail.com. Delearox, all lowercase. delearox@gmail.com. I will sincerely encourage everyone to get a copy of the book, the seven tips to thrive in the marketplace. And of course, one of these days we'll bring General back to share from this book. Also, 7 tips to thrive in the marketplace. It's a wonderful, wonderful book. Don't hesitate to get it. He said a hard copy is how much, sir?
4,000. Then the e-copy is 2,000 naira.
The hard copy is 4,000 and e-copy is 2,000. And of course, I must comment that General's books are always very lovable to read. So whether you get the e-copy or you get the hard copy, maybe you are not close by in Abuja and you want to get the e-copy, I guarantee you it's something you will love. And if you are in Abuja, you can reach out on the email displayed there. You can also reach out to the Institute. We'll definitely connect you. But once again, don't go and fight a policeman or an army man, hoping there is a general somewhere in IPM to rescue you. Don't try it. Okay. All right. And I think at this point, General, there are some questions that popped up from YouTube. I don't know if we still have the time to take them.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is from Victor H.A. He said, how do you manage a leader who complains so much or create unnecessary pressure when there seem not to be? How do you manage a leader who complains so much or creates unnecessary pressure when there seems not to be?
Yeah, okay. That's their character. So you need to understand them and see how you manage them. There are people also that manifest what is called borderline personality. What do I mean by borderline personality? You see them, they are happy one moment, and the next moment they are shouting and they are abusing people. I've worked with such kind of people before. Just understand them. You need patience. If there's any virtue you need to develop, in the workplace, is patience. Just understand them. What actually do they want? I tell people there's a key that unlocks the heart of the most difficult of men. Take note of that. There's a key. Just find the key. Once you get that key, you unlock them. I'm telling you, I had worked with a general. His nickname was General Thunder. He shouts and breathes down on everybody and everything. But when it comes to me, he's like one go that as if they pour cold water on his body when he sees me, because I understand what he wants. I took time to study him, what he wants. People don't take time to know people. You cannot just barge into an office or get into a system and don't understand the psyche of the people you are working with. You must understand your bosses. What do they love? What don't they like? What they like, give it to them. What they don't like, don't do it. And you will work with, in quote, even the devil, if you learn to maintain your space, draw your lines. So yeah, it's the person that creates pressure and everything. Look for what he wants. What is it that is making him be pressurized? Maybe looking for promotion. And this is so go the extra mile to make sure you deliver beyond the mandate that he has given you. You understand? Somebody is saying that I just want the list of people that have failed in 3 years and everything. You now give him even the bar chart of people that have failed per subject. It has happened to me. So when the man sees that you are working for my progress, you become his best friend. I'm telling you. So that's just it. Don't look at them. And I said, I don't call them toxic people. I call them interesting people. Your perception matters. And when you say interesting people, it's a positive aspect of looking at something that is bad. You must look for the positive, no matter how small, in any bad situation. You understand? With that, you look forward to going to work. Not that that terrible man, that man that is like is a terror. Look for the smallest of that positive in him. Look for it and find a way to walk along that line. You get along. I believe so.
Okay, thank you so much, General. It's like people just understood that we just ask for questions now because the question is rolling in the YouTube session. Okay, however, there are
Somebody
questions
is saying
I
that let's
will not
increase the
take.
price. No, we'll not increase
Yes,
the
we need.
price. No problem. It's for you to just get to people. You understand?
Oh my God. All right. Before we proceed, please let's be reminded that this is the certificate course in emotional intelligence, and General is taking the section on social intelligence. And of course, from what has been done, it is obvious that this is one of the most important skills, if not the most important, that we need in time as this. Now, I remember speaking with General on this program, and he said that this is the cheapest course he has ever seen. with this kind of
Yes.
value. Yeah.
Yes.
He said this is the cheapest he has ever seen. And we are not doing it cheapest just for the purpose of gathering people. We understand the power of what we're doing. And that's why we have made it a responsibility to make sure that everyone in this class get access to the certificates, get access to the knowledge. And right on the screen, we have shared the information about how to get access to the certificate and all of that. Now, for most of us on YouTube, you can still join us on Zoom. All you need to do is to make your payment, and then we'll be there together. All right? Okay. Now, another question that came up here, he said, what is the best way to handle pelvish burst? I think this has been answered in a way. And then this other question, this question is social intelligence, but is like outside of, it's more like a personal question. Yeah. It's more like a personal question. He said, sir, what can we do to smoothen ties between civilians and the armed forces? There is so much brutality against the civil populace from our armed protectors. They judge civilians by military creeds. Okay, so I think this is out of the class. So
No, Doc, okay. Doc, please let me respond.
Okay.
Yes, in time past, there has been a lot of complaints about the way the military treats the populace. And some of us over the years were championing a cause to revert this narrative. Yes, as I always tell people, change is a process, not an event. Mm-hmm. A lot of things are changing. And that's why personally I tell people, when you see those kind of things, report them to me personally. You understand? If you can take pictures, but I will escalate it. And people have been doing it. My secondary school group, university groups, that I belong to, when they hear or see those things, just get your facts right, send it to me, we'll trace the person. There are a lot of things that we use, technology and everything, to trace and get people that misbehave. It is wrong. We are meant to protect the people. We are not enemies of the people. And that's why in my location in Nauchi, a lot of things that we're doing in conjunction with the civil populace. I organized a 5 days empowerment program. We invited people from the town and also the barrack community, interacted together on how people can be empowered. Thereafter, we had a free medical outreach to the people, free. They came and they were treated free, given drugs, glasses, and all the rest. They were shocked that it has never happened before. But those are some of the things we are doing to improve the civil-military cooperation. We are not enemies of the people. We came from amongst you. We are going to get back to remain among civilians. It's just a transition. It might be for 10 years, 20, 30 years. But whether we like it or not, we will become civilians when we leave and not remain as military men. This coming Monday, just as Euro 2024 is finishing on Sunday, Monday, I'm starting a Commandant's Cup. Youths in Nauchi, bringing them together to come and play in the barracks with our football team. So these are some of the things at my level. And my colleagues too, they are doing in various places. We are talking to ourselves. And that's why this emotional intelligence stuff is so very, very key to my heart, because we need it. We need it. Being emotionally intelligent does not mean that military men will become weaklings, or there are things that can be sorted without violence, especially when you are with your people. When we are dealing with external aggressors, people that want to invade Nigeria, we can be brutal, kill them and all that. Yes, they are enemies. They want to overrun Nigeria, but the populace, they are our people. And we must do everything to protect them, not just by words, but by deeds in our actions. And a lot is being done, and we keep doing it. So please, when you see the wrong things, that's why we have the human rights centers now. We have call centers. So when you see things done wrong, we are not meant to assault civilians. That is the truth. That is the truth. So if it had been done in time past, it is an aberration, and a lot is being done to correct it now. And some of us are in the forefront to see that the right things are being done. So please, when you see the wrong things, don't be very free to let me know. If you cannot reach me, reach Dr. Banito. He will get across to me, and we will do our best to make sure that it is addressed. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, General. It has been an awesome time with Major General Dele Arogundade on social intelligence, and a whole lot had been learned today. We want to sincerely appreciate General. One more time, for those asking in the group, in the YouTube channel, how do we get the book? I've dropped General's email on the live chat. So please, you can write to General directly. You can also write to us. And we've also dropped our WhatsApp group link. So you can join the WhatsApp group, and then from there you can private chat us on how to get the book. General has also made it so public. The soft copy of the book, you can send him an email and you will get you a copy of that. So the email has been dropped there, dailyarokes@gmail.com. The hard copy, if you're in Abuja, you can order for your hard copy, 4,000 naira. The soft copy is 2,000, and the hard copy is hard copy 4,000, soft copy
Yes.
2,000. Hard copy 4,000, soft copy 2,000. Hard copy 4,000, soft copy, and like I said, it's a book. I've read General's books. This is one that you will read, you laugh, you learn, and you don't get tired reading General's book. Okay, so feel free to write to him. His numbers also had been shared. One more time, I'm going to display that information. His number and his email had been shared, and he had gone ahead to even give us a permission that if you ever notice a behavior that is not good enough, feel free to, that's with the military anyway, feel free to reach out to him via his number or his email. And he said something, he said, if you have videos, clips to second to support what you're claiming, very good. Okay, so one more time, I've shared his information right on the screen. Major General Dele Arogundade, Chartered Emotional Intelligence Expert, speaker, poet, trainer, and soldier. And he is currently the commandant of Nigerian Army. General, can you complete it?
Nigerian Army School of Electrical and Mechanical Engineering. Ouch.
Okay. School of Electrical and
Mechanical Engineering.
Electrical and Mechanical Engineering. Ouch.
Yes.
Of course. He has an MSc in engineering. Is it MS Engine? I know he has 3 MScs.
Yes, I have 3.
Okay.
3 different fields.
Okay.
Computer science, warfare studies, and strategic studies.
Oh, computer science. That's lovely.
I'm a chartered engineer. Chartered engineer.
Okay. So some people are saying I need a copy. So if you need a copy, just write to General. If you're in Abuja, okay. So if you're in Abuja, when you join the WhatsApp group, just indicate that you're in Abuja.
Yes, we arrange it. We can get across to doctor. Some will be with doctor so that people can get it from him. And
so for those of us that have already paid for the class, you can just go ahead and pay for use the same institute account and pay for the hard copy. That's for those that will look for that will come to the institute to collect their certificate or dispatch. You can pay for the hard copy to the institute account where you paid for your certificate. Then we can extract it from there and send to General. Okay, so that's also General. I hope that's okay by you.
yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay. So for those of us that are also online, I think it can be made easier. So you can pay to the account you are seeing on your screen, and then send us an email or send General an email with the proof of payment. Okay, and then whichever version you're paying for will be sent to you, whether hard copy or soft copy. But note, hard copy, if you're demanding for hard copy outside of Abuja, you have to pay for the logistics involved. If you're paying for the soft copy, there is no logistics involved. The logistics is for you to make your payment 2,000 naira and you get that copy. If it is hard copy, then you will pay. Or General, is logistics part of the 4,000?
No.
Okay.
That's the price of the book.
The price
Yes.
of the book is 4,000,
It's
and then
4,000, yeah.
the price of the soft copy is 2,000. Now, if you're
Yes.
outside of Abuja, like somebody said, she's in Uyo, another person is in Lagos. They need
Yes,
her.
it can be arranged. How much it will cost, then you'll
Okay,
be informed so I can pay for the transportation, the
logistics.
courier. Yes.
Yeah,
the
you can pay
logistics.
for the courier. All right. At this point, we'd like to say a very big thank you once again to Major
Thank you, sir.
General
Thank you very
Dele
much. Wonderful
Arogundade.
audience.
So we
Let's
take
keep in
General's
touch. Let us
closing remark, and then we will round up. So while General gives his closing remark, we'll have somebody from the class to give him an appreciation, and then we'll have somebody from the YouTube channel to give an appreciation to them. We shut down for this particular section.
All right. Thank you very much for being a wonderful audience. I appreciate you. Emotional intelligence is a way to go. Relationships. We are all products of relationships. Let us build relationships, please. Very, very important. Anywhere you go, build relationships consciously. Be intentional about it. Not just only build it. You need to build, maintain, and grow relationships. That gives you your social capital, which is much more than money. You will need it. Your children will need it. Other people will benefit from your social capital. So as you're investing in banks, investing in stocks, investing in real estate, invest in your social capital. Build it intentionally. God bless you. Thank you very much. And we'll see you some other times. God bless you.
Thank you so much, sir. So can we get somebody from the class to just give General a good thank you for this wonderful section today?
Okay, thank you so much, sir. It's been a wonderful time in this class, especially since yesterday, and seeing the version of the class today taken by General Dele Arogundade. Oh my God, I can tell you that it will take a very long time for me personally to begin to recover from the impact of this class. And I believe it's the same with everybody. So I want to, on behalf of myself, Afolabi Emmanuel, and every member of the class, Emotional Intelligence, sir, I want to say thank you so much. You've been impactful. The delivery of the presentation was amazing. The examples, the real life experience, one of the things I consider to be very important and something that one is to take as a gift is when you have people who have people who have taken so much time building upon themselves, climbing the success ladder, and they summon courage to share their real life experience with you, where they have failed, where they are working on, certain characters, where they are making progress. I consider this to be worth more than gold. And you deliver all of this to us. And I can tell you, personally, I don't want this class to come to an end, but I believe we are still in class and we'll be seeing you more often, even after today's class. Thank you so much, sir. We are so grateful. God bless you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
All right. All right, at this juncture, we would like to call it a timeout. Thank you, General. We cannot, the YouTube people, Olaye Mobolaji Johnson, he wrote, on behalf of everyone watching on YouTube, we say thank you to General Dele Arogundade. God bless you, sir. That's from the YouTube community. So thank you to everyone.
Thank you so much.
So we will call it a time here. We'll take about 10 minutes. Should we take 10 minutes or 15 minutes? Okay, so we'll take 15 minutes break, and then when we come back, we'll take the other section. Our next session will be taken by Dr. Michael Ikeno Kafo, popularly known as Oga HR, who is also one in the class of HR in Nigeria. We have HR practitioners, we have HR professionals, but we have HR practitioners. So if we come to practicing HR, I think he's one of Nigeria's foremost, and he will be here in the next 15 minutes to share with us. So we'll be back by, okay, so this is 12:11. Okay, so let's come back by 12:30. Would that be okay?
Yes.
12:30. So we'll be back here by 12:30. We are not signing out and we are not logging out. So you can just keep on. And then we'll be back here in 15 minutes. At this point, we'd like to say thank you to everyone and see you by 12:30 Nigerian time. Thank you. All right, good afternoon once again, and welcome back to class. It's been an awesome day. We have just concluded this section with Major General Dele Arogundade on social intelligence. And moving forward today, in our next section, we will be taking the section on relationship management. So this is continuing in the class that we have just had. Social intelligence, now specializing on relationship management. General said something. He said, social capital will give you what money? We never give you. So how do we build that social capital? How do we build relationship that works? And in this section, we'll be having our very own Dr. Mike Okafor to share with us on what social or perhaps relationship management, what it's all about. Please, let's be reminded that this class is a certificate course on emotional intelligence, and with reference to those who are on YouTube right now. So in case you've not made payment for this course, you can go ahead and make the payment, and then we will be of service to provide you with all of the certifications. And by the time Dr. Ikenna is over with his section, by the time he rounds off his section, we'll also provide you more insight or information about the certifications and all of that. One more time, thank you. I'm not the coordinator of this program. The coordinator is Mr. Damilola Olani. I'm a support coordinator today. Okay, so Dami, over to you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Banito. We appreciate the Major General once again for that wonderful session. And it is time to take it deeper. I mean, we all can see that it's getting deeper. All right, so let's bring out our writing materials and let's dine together. All right, now the next module is relationship management. This is very important aspect that we need to pay attention to as well. And we have our very own SME doctor, Oga HR, Mahebu, senior colleague. All right, please, we need to open up our spirit to learn, and let's prepare to receive much more from him as well. All right, so I would like to call on him now. I wouldn't mind to read his profile. Dr. Banito, is it possible to get his profile, or we just continue because of time?
No, let's continue. Don't worry. I'm a household name now. It's profile is available, but I'm a household name.
I believe you say something like that.
My people will say that. My people will say you don't tie rapper for somebody that is in the same compound with you.
Interesting. So the floor is yours, sir.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you from everyone from YouTube, my friends, colleagues who have joined even before now, and those on the Zoom class. So we're talking about relationship management based on emotional intelligence. So when we're going to be discussing this, we're looking at personal relationships and corporate relationship. One of the most cheapest currency you have at your disposal, but quite expensive to spend, is the people's currency. It's very, very available, very cheap. You see people every day, so it means it's very common. But now, how you begin to spend that people's currency is a different ballgame entirely. But somehow, what determines this are basically four things. And those four things are our four character, or our four traits as humans. And that is where we have the melancholies, phlegmatic, those are the introverts. Then you have the sanguine, choleric, which are the extroverts. We will not downplay these factors in relationship management. But it's not enough to say, that is how I am. I don't go out. You can be indoor, but you are still maintain your relationship. Thank God for social media now. as of this morning, as I woke up this morning, I had to go to US. From US, I went to England, UK, Boston precisely. From there, I tried to go to Australia, but it didn't work out. And from there, I came back to Ghana all this morning. So you see, it's very possible that from your phone, you can do all this, because I spoke with all my friends that were there this morning. I just, one of them was even the one that even chatted me. I said, but this is like 3 a.m. in your 12 a.m. in your, because that was around 6 a.m. So it's around 12 a.m. He said, yes, that she haven't slept yet. And her husband and herself were having some conversation. The other person, he said, okay, he's just trying to put up his article. And you see, so you have to maintain relationship. Whereas there's also not the good side about that. It has made us very close people. In some cases, it has made us very close people in the US, in Boston, in Australia, and made us very far from our next door neighbor. So we should be able to balance all this part-time. Okay, so you can't, in any aspect of your life, right? Relationship management is very, 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 very important. So let's go to the next slide. You know, when we talk about emotional intelligence, we're talking about, General also mentioned cultural intelligence, social intelligence. We can even say professional intelligence, career intelligence, and all of those. All this boils down to relationship. How good you are at managing what you say and the response from what people say, or generally dealing with others. Okay, so we're going to go straight to looking at the branches, or the where we can see as influence when it comes to relationship management. How you can wield influence when it comes to relationship management. One of the most common places is developing others. Developing others. Many of us we find ourselves in the corporate environment, regardless of your position, you are a leader. I always say that. And why are you a leader? Because you have what the first step of leadership, which is self-leadership. Ability to lead yourself. That makes you a leader first. So that even if you are leading a team of 25 or a team of 3,000, you must first be able to lead yourself. Okay? And in doing that, you have to first tell yourself, you have to first develop yourself. When you've developed yourself, you can then begin to develop others. There was a video I was watching last night on Facebook about, I've forgotten what it is, but it was a cup. Like, you don't give what you don't have. So the family gives something to your friend, the cup, which is reflecting yourself, is empty. So it was trying to say that you have to fill your cup first, so that when you give out, you can say, maybe like half remaining for you. So in developing yourself, you can then move to developing others. How? Through mentoring, coaching, leadership drive, criticism, feedback, and so many other ways that we develop other people. The next we'll look at is the inspirational leadership. This is another way of maintaining relationship. This is another way of relationship management. How? By motivating other people, by guiding, by leading. A leader has to have vision. You must have vision. That's why people write on what they call visionary leadership. It is that your vision that will then give an inspiration to you and to what? And to the people around you. When your inspiration gives you clarity of vision, rather, and inspiration gives you clarity of your vision, and that is that vision you use in leading people. Is that vision you use in achieving a set goal of an organization, be it in your church group, in your youth group, in your father's group, in your mother's group, in your estate group, and in your old school boys and old school girls group. So there are people that just being around them alone inspires. And what happens? You see people coming to them. You see people coming to be around them because being around them inspires. I have people like that. So ask yourself, do you have people like that? Then being an inspirational leader, there are various strategies you can adopt. Number one, know what you want. Have clarity. Have clarity. Yesterday, Dr. Ifeoma mentioned some of this. Have clarity of what you want. So I will not really focus on all this, because if you attended our yesterday class, I believe you would have seen this. Impress them, reward them, okay? Reason with them, find reasons, find a common ground, okay? Find a common ground. Just like what General just finished saying. You have to look at, appeal to them, their own, what they think. Find a common ground. Even General was even talking about when you're even talking to your boss, you'll be like, you may wish to, you may consider me, even when I'm approving, when they bring something to my table at work, when I'm approving it, I'll be like, once they're giving all those suggestions, I'll say, even though I want A clearly, I can just be like, you may wish to proceed with option A as recommended or something like that, or as approved. You may wish to. If you don't wish, let him leave it. But it's me trying to find a common ground. Compromise. Not every time it will be your will, okay? Communicate. Now, on this is very, very important. Communication is key. Communication is the life wire. Pick up your phone today and start building relationship. Go to your WhatsApp. Look at those people you've not chatted for a long time and tell them, how are you? How are you doing? Be concerned about their personal growth. Discuss personal things, not every time work, or what you need from them. Discuss on a personal grounds. Discuss on a personal grounds. Okay? A cousin of I was on my way. I don't know if my relative is on this call, but if they're on it, they may know the person I'm talking about. I was just on my way this morning and he has never reached out to me. I've complained about him to my other cousins that he doesn't reach out. When I wanted to get married, our youngest cousin, like, is about in his 28 or 27, can't remember. Or 25, don't know. I think 97 or 98 that he was born. When he was getting married, he didn't reach out to me. I heard about it. I sent support to his mother. He didn't come to say, okay, my mom told me you did this. His wife gave birth. I heard it from his sister. I sent my support. We were paying something in our village, in our kindred group. I saw his name there. I said, okay, I'm paying for, he should pay for himself. I'm paying for his dad, who is my uncle, and pay for my own parents too. And since then, he hasn't reached out to me. So today, all of a sudden, he's just reaching out that he needs this, he needs. I said, I don't have. He said, what of this? I said, I don't still have that amount. I said, even if you reduce 5,000 from that amount, I still don't have it. So, because he's only reaching out to me because he needs something. So we have to keep communication. Communication is not like always communicate, always tell this when you're doing a task. No, even when nothing is happening, communicate, reach out to people, ask them, how are you? All those people you have in the US, in various countries, reach out to them. Even your subordinates, your former place of work, reach out to them. Reach out to them, communicate. Remain consistent, be an expert, be an active listener. A lot have been said about this. Be likable. Okay, let me just speak a little about this. Be likable. This is, as much as this is good, but it's relative. Don't, because you want to be likable, become a hypocrite and begin to do things that is wrong. Because that's what we think, our perception about being likable. In fact, in this part of the world, most people wouldn't like you if you are doing the right thing. most people will not like you. So be likable. It can just be a trend you have of even smiling all the time, or how you speak, or how you reason, okay, or how you solve problem. People will naturally like and go to people who solve problem for them. That's about being likable. Show confidence, not arrogance. Be authoritative. When we mean authoritative, does not mean that you shouldn't listen. But this morning, as I was coming to work, I was discussing with one of my mentees, and I asked her, I said, what is your perception about leadership? And when she says she's talking about not being authoritative, I say, well, for me, there are places where a leader needs to be authoritative. I say, why? Let's give an example. There is a vision to be achieved. There is an objective to be achieved. There is a process to achieve that vision. The leader have seen that this end will lead to abundance, but we have to go through little pains. But now the followers are like, no, we don't want this. The pain, we can't go through this pain. We can't go through this. At that point, the leader has to be firm. The leader has to let them understand that, look at, you have to endure this pain now to get an abundance after now. So at that point, you may wish to call that authoritative. Well, if that's your definition, but for me, that's being firm. Brand yourself. Okay, be known for something. If you are known for nothing, or if you are known for nothing, you fall for everything. That's what in our side they do say to describe that. They say, this one is type of person. If you ripe, bring them. If you no ripe, still bring them. So don't be that kind of person that if you ripe, cut and come. If you no ripe, be a person that if he's not ripe, that is me. That is what I stand for. Or be the person that they know that, oh, it stands for when it is ripe. Okay, show respect. Use scarcity as a tool. Dr. Ifeoma did a lot on this, so I will just skip them and go to the next. Change catalyst means initiating or managing change and leading new direction. Change is a very difficult thing in most organizational settings. In fact, I have seen in my last place of work that is very fragile, I've seen where change led to total breakdown of law and order, where change was not properly managed. So while you are bringing in change, ensure that you follow change management process, because change brings about fear. What will be the next thing? What will be the next thing? What may happen when this change comes? So that fear is there. So as a professional, you must allay their fears. You must allay their fears when it comes to bringing about change, when it comes to catalyzing change. Then we are talking about influence. What is your level of influence on others? How do you impact others? How do you make people do things they don't want to do without using force? You know, force is also a way of influence. Yesterday, Dr. Ifeoma talked about Adolf Hitler and who again did she use again? Mahatma Gandhi. Yes, those two people are great leaders in history. I'm a student of history. When you can't mention great leaders, you can't mention Adolf Hitler. You can't mention Alexander the Great. You can't mention Napoleon Bonaparte. You can't mention Otto von Bismarck. These are great leaders. Though, depends on who is judging. You'll be like, oh, these are negative. But if you meet somebody who is pro-Hitler, like one of my classmates that time, he can blow you because of Hitler. He loved Hitler. He said, if Hitler had not done this, if Hitler had not done that. Same thing in Nigeria, and there are some of our past leaders, which I would not like to mention name, that in the military leaders, that no matter what people say that he is the greatest dictator in Nigeria, people still say he's the best leader Nigeria ever had. So, but how do you use your influence? How do you use your influence in maintaining your relationship? I remember part of the things I do in my place of work is that there are people well, have you eaten? You've not, take this, go and eat. Take this, recharge your phone. When things go wrong, they're usually the first to call me, Oga, see what's happening here. See. Before that plan materialize. Has someone ever told you, it's because of you, that's why I'm doing this? That's influence. Or have you ever done something and be like, it is because of so person, that's why you're doing it? That's influence. Some of us that is married will be like, if not because of my wife and my child, if not because of my wife and my children, if not because of my husband and my family, or if not because of my mother or my father. So that is influence. And that also, when you talk about relationship management, there are places where you don't have to go by yourself. You have to use another influential person to discuss with the other person. That's also relationship management, a form of using influence. How to also use influence. I can remember there was something I needed from somebody. In fact, let me use a very real another example. And one thing, because we just had finished having a general. I don't know whether it's still online. Somebody offended another very big organ in the military, a civilian. It was a road range issue. He didn't know he was dealing with a general. So the general swore that he was going to deal with him. So when the matter came, and one of them said, he knows another general, since he's general to general. So he just called out, that person is my girl. I can't even talk to him directly. This is general to general. He said, I can't talk to him. This general had to go and meet another general to speak with him. So that is power of influence. If you can't influence directly, you can use indirect influence. Use another person to get the influence to get what you want. However, looking at influence in this in detail, how do you influence? One of the things, say less, don't say so much. General said that. You don't just talk blah, 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 blah. Guard your reputation. Capture attention. In this, there are very, very simple way to capture attention. Let me use, starting from your dressing. Wear a good shoe, whether you're a man or a woman. Women, well, I think it's hair, more of hair for women. Though women will just look at your hair, only few of us know hair, but for their fellow women, hair is usually. So get dressed well, smell nice, take your personal hygiene seriously. You know, have you just been in a place of like, you look good, you smell nice. So that alone is a form of influence. The person can have that person got your attention. Someone who compliments you like that, the person can begin to open a conversation with you and you feel relaxed. Make others come to you. Be a problem solver. Okay. Win through actions and not arguments. Of course, some of us, we rather win the arguments. Even when the matter of time will come, if it's on WhatsApp group or something that was happening in WhatsApp group, I am. The argument that I've died, 4 days later, this guy came up and said that still continue again. We just had to like caution, young man, this thing 4 days ago, we've passed this now. So just because you wanted to win the argument, so don't be concerned about winning arguments. Keep people dependent on you. Appeal to Pastor Dr. Ifeoma said a lot on this. Use the surrender tactics. I use it very, very, very well when it comes to the cyberspace. I use it very, very well. Yesterday night, I was on Facebook and I saw an appointment by a political senator of a particular state, appointing 122 aides or so. Is it 100 or 222 aides to himself? Aides. And somebody was praising it. And I tried to like, what would be their work? Like, someone was just trying to make nonsense out of the sense, or sense out of nonsense. I don't know which of them. And I said, oh, it's okay, it's fine, it's fine. Anything you say is correct. I was not ready for that social media banter. And some people came to my inbox. That was a very smart thing to do. That was, me and one of them started engaging and talking. Oh, I also work in so place, and just that last night we exchanged contact. Okay. Concentrate on yourself. Concentrate on yourself. Okay. Then recreate yourself. Know when to refill, when to rebrand yourself. Use people to use people's needs to believe, okay? People have an overwhelming desire to believe, become the focal point for such by offering them cause and a new faith. So be that one that will be a turnaround point. Keep your hands clean. Enter action with boldness, plan till the end. Very importantly, make accomplishment seen. Yeah, on this one now, there's something I always tell my subordinates. Don't just be walking. You must be seen walking. Don't just be walking. You must be seen walking. And that's where General was also saying that if you are with having a relationship with your boss on official matters or anything at all, you have to give him feedback, constant feedback. You must know what you are doing per time. Don't just wait until the end of the month by sending report or week. There's sometimes happen those days at work. When something happened in where they are managing, the plants they are managing, they are waiting to come to the office to give me updates. Whereas the HOD of that department have already sent me a text. HR, this is what just happened now. So person. And you know, this mentality of who first reports is really the innocent person. And I'm already infuriated. So they now come and say, sir, that is not how it happened. So be sending reports per time. It's not gossip. It's not gossip. Control the options. All right, give people options A, B, and C. Play to people's fantasy as well. Know that people have weaknesses and don't rub it at their face. Don't rub it at their face. Create your image through your attire. Master the art of timing. Merge with other people. Collaboration. Have you noticed in the what these kit makers? What's their name? I don't know. All these kit makers. Have you noticed that they collaborate very well? They collaborate very well. They don't. I've not seen where somebody is suing another person for using his name to act even a derogatory comedy. They don't care. They don't care. I saw one. I mean, they are just. They are collaborating, unlike those in the music. They are trying to say, okay, who is the giant of Africa and who is 001 and who is richer and who is not, who is respectful, all kind of things. You see that in the music industry. But for those in the skit making, they are collaborating. And since the likes of maybe Don Jazz even entered there, he doesn't care. You see, even an upcoming skit maker is using it to make skits, and they're all selling their brand. So collaborate with others. Stay calm. Strike. I think this is, let's just proceed to the next. Conflict management. Conflict management. This is key. Conflict is everywhere. Conflict is everywhere. You should be able, your ability to manage it is very key. It determines your success. Okay, your ability to manage it is the key to your success. You can't do away with conflicts. So we're going to look at steps to resolve personal conflicts. And after that, we're going to also look at in a corporate setting, how to resolve it. Emotional intelligence has to do with understanding yourself. Understanding yourself. I think at the beginning in intro, we had that where you need to understand yourself, understand the person you are dealing with as well. So first, in this, you have to understand yourself. What's your temperament? I'll give you an example. Those who are choleric, they can be mean, they can be authoritative, okay? Those who are sanguine are quick to temper, but they can calm down easily. Unlike choleric, they don't calm down easily. Melancholies, they are neither here nor there. But phlegmatic, you will never know when you offend them. It's only with your own eyes you'll be seeing them doing you back, right? So, but you as this, you have to understand which one I am, which one am I. So that will now guide your own relationship with people and how to resolve conflict. In fact, you might even wish to use the avoidance method to conflict. So one of the ways is speak to the person, speak to the other person as if the other person is not angry, okay? Even though in that most times in conflict, both parties are angry, but one just have to be more matured. Avoid the use of words you, as this brings about blame. always pointing fingers. Nod your head to assure the other person that you are hearing him, or maintain eye contact. By so doing, you can read the expressions of the person. Move the discussion to private area if possible. I can remember one of my friends that I offended one time. He just called me he knows the kind of eatery I like. He called me there, what food I was eating, and when he opened up the conversation, I got uncomfortable and I said, okay, no wonder you carried me here, so you can tell me how offended you are. I was like, okay, sorry, because this food, I need to finish it. Okay. So it's the conversation everybody could just become happy immediately. So go to a private area. If you're the type that go and eat in Kobe and this year, we take that person there and have that conversation. If it's in church that the person is a church person, carry the person to church. As in the altar, you're telling the person, this is how you offended me. Okay. Don't also make it public, because that can also bring some kind of disrespect, not whether or not you are higher or lower than the person, right? Give the other person time to also vent their emotions. It's very important. Give them time to vent their emotions. Then don't interrupt them when they are saying. It's very common when they want to settle. I do that a lot, so I see all these kind of things play out. When we're setting conflicts, you're down be itching. Once they say, no, but I didn't do that. I didn't. Stop the interruption. What I do most times in such cases is that I take my pen or my phone notepad and I'm writing some points. I say, okay, so when he was talking, he said this and I'm responding to that. I don't interrupt. Respect the other people's opinion. Okay, when you did this, what I was thinking was that you deliberately did it and did not respect me. That's your thinking. And that's the person's thinking. The person have the right to think that way. It's now left for you to allay that. Number 4, check with other person and verify that they are hearing you clearly and you understand what you have interpreted what you've said, and interpreted correctly what you said. Okay, so there's no misinterpretation. That was why even yesterday I would say, reiterate what that person have said, recap what that person have said, reemphasize what that person. Some few days ago, or few weeks ago, my MTN line was not going through at all. I couldn't make receive call. It was blank, nothing. And I had to call with another number. When I called him, the guy said, you said this is correct. I said, yes, that's correct. So he's ensuring that he heard what I said correctly. Repeat the step 4, which we just passed. And this time, ask the other person to verify that they heard you. But acknowledge where you disagree and where you agree. Be very clear. I do that a lot. No, you see on this one, right? I don't agree. I disagree with you. I really think this. Why? I'm seeking more clarity. Okay. Focus also on how you can solve the problem. Identify at least one action that can be done by both of you, if possible, okay, to avoid reoccurrence. The next, if the situation remains a conflict, then conclude if the other person's behavior conflicts with the policy and procedures of the workplace. Inform your supervisor or the next person. So even if it's not at workplace, at your house, at that point, maybe you are 2 siblings. At that point, you have to call the next person, maybe the next older person or your cousin or your parents. Even if you are friends, these are practical things. I like using myself as an example so that we don't look as if we are one Superman. Myself, there was this my friend that all of a sudden started giving me attitude. 2021 or thereabout. He started giving me attitude and I was very, very uncomfortable with it. I call, it doesn't pick. I send a message, it doesn't pick. I send WhatsApp, it doesn't pick. His birthday messages was just there. I was like, wait, what did I do? I reached out to his younger brother. Said, I know he can be like that. I should leave him. Even him too, for 1 month, he didn't pick his call. I said, well, I reached out to his younger sister too. Nothing. I reached out to a mutual friend we had nothing. Reached out to another mutual friend. That one went ahead to meet him. He insulted him that he should just leave this matter. Okay, just tell him what he has done. Nothing. One particular day I was coming back from work. I called him. He didn't pick. I called the secretary. The secretary says in the office. I went there. I said, to see you. We're in his office. What did I do? Nothing. Why not picking my call? Nothing. I spoke and spoke. I said, at this point, I've tried. I went home. I was not comfortable. I went to meet his mother. So I tried every option. So don't when it's not, I'm not saying so I don't look at it only at the official front, even at the personal ground, it happened. Before you call in your supervisor, the mother at that point could be the supervisor, the father, and another person, and which the third one says seek the third person to mediate. At workplace, how do you go about this? First of all, understand the situation rationally. Remove people. Learn to separate people from situations. Learn to separate people from situation. So, John have done this. Therefore, John is a bad person. No. John have done this. What John have done is bad. But I know John is a good person. Do you understand that? So look at the situation rationally. Where we see this play very well. And that's why I say emotional intelligence is very important in every aspect. If you're entering on social media, especially in a place like what they call this place, X and Facebook, you understand what I'm saying. And when you post, both you and the post, you are one. They will deal with you. They will watch you. So it takes one with time emotional intelligence to, respond. Why some will be able to differentiate the poster and the post? Yes. So understand each other's need and concerns. How? By gathering information, by asking questions. Ask those questions. Don't just assume. Agree on the problem. Okay, from all indication, this is the problem, right? Yes. So the next thing is, what do we do? But in most cases, we see people spending time on, there is no, number one is jumped, number two is jumped, number three is jumped, then there's number three, maybe A. And what is that number 3A? Who caused the problem? If he had not done this, would this have happened? And he's not the one that did this that caused this problem. And this problem he has caused now caused another problem. That's what we find our time doing most times, instead of looking for solution and negotiate on how that can be solved. In workplace, how do you do that? You build relationship before conflict occurs. My staff know that. See, I don't know how the kind of place you work, and they'll be like, I always hear people will be like, your workplace is not your friend. How are they supposed to say that thing? Yeah, your colleagues are not your friends. Nobody say your colleagues is your friend. But you must ensure that you make your workplace mentally stable for you as possible. You must like your boss just the way you must like your subordinate too. Just the way you must like your subordinate. The last team I managed directly, just my HR team, were about 25 directly. So you can imagine 25 team. They say in every 12 there's a Judas, and we are 25. It means there are like 2 Judas in my team, minimum. And when I mean Judas, it's not like people who betray, but people who cannot even give you what you want. The basic of HR, they can't even give you. But what happened? I still love them. Over the weekend, I will still call them. How are you doing now? How are you coping? How are you feeling? Isn't it affecting your work? So we built healthy relationship. I'm sure almost all of them have my wife's number. I'm sure some of them will do chat with her. So in fact, some of them know that they can use her they'll just use style to check my temperature from house, to use her to work on me. So I can remember last year we were doing appraisal. My wife told me, say, hey, this year appraisal you're doing in the office, and sure, nobody's scored below a C. I said, how do you know that the grading? How do you know? And because she did not mention, she mentioned what we called it. I think I've forgotten the name we called that. A was exceptional performance, like that. She mentioned, how did you know? She laughed. I said, you've been chatting with somebody from office. So build healthy relationship. Do not let small problems escalate. Deal with them. Respect differences, cultural differences, religious differences. Again, I would like to use my last place of work as this is where I practice diversity and inclusion. We had over 3,000 workers or 2,500 workers on site. And within that 2,000 plus workers, we have different religion, different free thinkers, people who worship anything, stone, stick, and people who go to church, who go to mosque, people who are Hindus. The goal is, the objective of why we are gathered, and not whether the person is this or that. but we respected each other's boundary. Listen to other people's perspective. Listen to other people's perspective. I can also remember a place I worked before. I was discussing with something happened and I was very angry. The person wanted to talk. I said, don't talk. I don't want to hear from you. It was like, sir, I must talk. I said, you will not talk. After some time, I said, okay, talk. Everybody started laughing. And when he spoke, I found that I did not listen. That is why I was not getting the point. So we have to listen to others. Acknowledge the feelings of other people. They come to me and say, oh, I really understand how you feel. And that is from within sympathy and empathy. Sympathy is just sympathize, but empathy, you take it further to understand and put yourself in their shoes. Focus on solving problems, not changing people. Of course, you cannot change anybody. That guy that you're with now, that you're saying that he will change when you marry him, he will not change. Remove your mind. That lady that you're with now, that you say, okay, if you get married, she will change. It won't work. You can't change anybody. You can't change your boss. You can't change your subordinates. They've been like that for the past 20, 30 years before they met you. You can only try to influence them. If you can't solve the problem, turn to someone who can. Remember to adapt your style to situation and person involved. Teamwork and collaboration. The most important nucleus in an organization is a team. And for you to succeed in any organization, teams must collaborate. You must collaborate. You must synergize. You must collectively do a thing. Just like broom. When broom is together, you can't break it. You can't break it. But when you are one, you find out that you can do what just one person cannot even do. How to create effective relationship. Beware of and employ all your emotional competence, such as emotional awareness, social awareness, cultural awareness, religious awareness, and so on and so forth. There was this conversation we are having, and somebody just said, we're having about a particular group of people. We say, that is how Hausa people are. Even, the person is talking with an Hausa person, but he didn't say Hausa. I think he even said Muslim. He's a Muslim. We know ourselves very well, but I'm sure he didn't know when he said that. At that point, we all went quiet, like, this guy has goofed. So one of us was quick to just bring another conversation to cover it up. But then when I went to it was still all over my head. And I'm very sure that person, it may affect the relationship they have, because it was a hasty generalization. Okay, use your people's skill to influence and persuade others. Always strive to build consensus and support. Build consensus and support. Motivate and inspire others to achieve their goals. Motivate and inspire. I remember last year, I forced all my people that you must go and help yourself. You must take a course. Even if it's not one very big course, you must take a course. And before the end of the year, they all came with certificate. No matter how cheap that certificate may look or may seem, I made sure that they got a course. So, and they are happy today, right? So, this just a brain teaser. Effective group interaction. Effective group interaction. I hope our class is going well. I hope you are following us. And I hope you are getting value for your time. Okay. This class is, of course, you've heard that if you are to pay for it, it's not what many of us can afford, but we are getting it for a very subsidized rate. We're getting it at a very, very subsidized rate. So, I don't know if there are any questions I have seen, and I have not seen any or any comments. So from that, our session that we just finished now, if you're in the YouTube, I want you to post 2 things that are your key takeaway. 2 things that are your key takeaway. I want you to post 2 things that are your key takeaway from the session we just finished. From the section rather, we just finished. From the section we just finished. Just post 2 takeaway. If you are on the Zoom, also do the same. While I wait for that, I'll proceed. Effective group interactions. Effective group interactions. How to have effective group interaction. Keep the organizational group and its employees up to date with organizational policy and matters. So communicate information. Let them know what is happening. Don't isolate, don't cover. Be covering everything. You don't want them to know. Once you do that, you are bringing speculation. Whatever is speculated becomes true. So you have to keep information at their domain. Maintain an open door policy. Maintain an open door policy devoid of favoritism. Don't treat people equally. Treat people the same way you would have also loved to be treated. Setting aside time for personal concern and queries. Queries improve time management and productivity of the group. Be concerned about, these things. Some people will be like, when you come to, as you're coming to work, drop your problem at the gate. I always tell my employees, bring your problems, let us solve it together. Because if you drop it at the gate and come inside, he knows the problem is waiting for him or her out there, and he won't concentrate. Think about the problem, he will go and he or she will pick up at the gate again. So I'll say, bring it, let us discuss it. Regular group discussion and brainstorming session. Boost morale and self-confidence. Every Monday, do you have a conversation, or every Friday? Some of my colleagues that are online can attest that we do that every Monday. We prepare for the week. Where they've not done well within last week, we'll tell them, okay, this is how a better way to go. This is how you'd have avoided this scenario. Okay, so maintaining relationship positively, checking up on loved ones and colleagues. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Oh, Philip, my colleague. In conflict management, you have to understand the situation. Yes, you have to understand the situation. Very important. Thank you. Before decisions are made, group opinion can be taken in consideration. So even when you've had what you want to do in your mind, seek the group opinion. You may be surprised that their opinion can help you tweak what you feel, what you want, or what you want to achieve better. In the medical field, they call that double second opinion, right? When they say, okay, you have malaria, you go and meet that doctor with the results, oh, you also have malaria. So that's seeking second opinion. Use communication. Okay, we've said that. Identify key communicators of the group. Okay, make use of the key communicators of the group. So in your team, you have to identify those who are vocal. Like in my team, I know those that when I want to pass a message, I can tell them something and say, okay, tell the team. In a minute, they've gotten it across. But I hope that you will tell. In 10 minutes, it will take them 10 minutes. Why? So we take them the next day. Effectively interact with the group on regular basis to monitor what's happening in the organization, all right? Managers should can interact with their team or group and can use group interactions. Okay, someone is also on the, someone said, listen to the other party in conflict resolution. Yes. Don't seek to be right at all time. And another person, my very good friend Deborah, said, build healthy relationships, seek solution rather than blaming others as if they were the cause directly or indirectly. We are all doing marvelously well. So advantage of group interaction. Of course, the advantage cannot be overemphasized. So I'm not going to just start treating them. We'll just keep them. So we'll have speed, spread of interaction, receipts of fast feedback. There's a sense of unity. It brings cohesion, right? It provides emotional support. People will be like, okay, he sought my feedback. I feel good. Personally, I feel good. I don't know whether you also feel good when they seek your feedback, but I actually feel good. I feel very, very good. Feel free expression of ideas, supplements to formal channel, psychological satisfaction. So it brings some kind of psychological satisfaction and security. It builds relationship and creates ideas. We will not go in them in detail because they are self-explanatory. What are the disadvantages? What are the disadvantages of ineffective group interaction? When there is none, it leads to what? Hostility. It leads to hostility. It's when this thing we call the half-truths. So people have a wrong perception. When you give that half-truths, people are confused what it should be, what it is or what is not. So they're going to assume, they're going to fear what might be and what might not be. Okay. Ineffective group interaction does not follow partial path of communication and hence not always trustworthy. So you can't trust whatever information you've gotten. And take it further, even bring trust between the people. It brings distrust rather between the people. It hampers productivity. So people will now spend time, instead of time to be productive, the other is that time to settling conflict. I remember, I think the second place I worked, there was one conflict we had in the department. It took the organization over 2 weeks to settle it. Every day, Monday to Friday for 2 weeks. So imagine those 2 hours that we have to stop all our job to come and sit down to our manager then to solve those kind of problems. Yes, it generates hostility, fear, and what have you. You can put other options in the chat box. Characteristics of highly emotional intelligence people. So let's see. We have so many. And I want you to in the chat room and on YouTube post what do you think? What will you think? What are the characteristics? How do you know people who have high emotional intelligence? How do you, when you see them, how do you know they have it? Or what are the things they do? What are the things, how do you know? How do you know? Using yourself, using for what you've learned from yesterday till today. How do you know that somebody have? So while I'm waiting for you, I'll take the first 4 on your screen. You have high self-motivation. Self-motivation is very important. Self-motivation is very important. See, the best way to be motivated is when you are intrinsically motivated. Means that when things that motivate you comes from inside rather from outside. The things that motivate from outside are momentary. For instance, happiness and joy. Happiness just comes and goes, but joy is inside. It comes from inside. So Ahmed Shuaibu said, they are approachable. Yes, they are approachable. They are influential and they are confident. Yes. Thank you, Ahmed Shuaibu. So people who have it, by looking at them, you see them, they are very approachable. They make good friends. You see them, they are some of them, before from your gate to your office to your, they've greeted everybody. They are focused. They know what they want. Higher fulfillment level. They are contented. Okay. Do we have more? Do we have more persons? Great peace of mind. Great peace of mind and well composed and highly motivated. They have steams. They have steez. Yes. When you see people who have characteristics of emotion, they have steez. That's what Bethel said. Osaze, Wendy, Bethel. They have stees. That's what I just said in a very professional way. They are high profile leaders. Yes, that's by Dogo. Great aware. They are aware about what they are doing. They are aware about their job, their environment. I'll use my daughter. My daughter has very high emotional intelligence, and I'll give you a typical example. We have there was this maintenance we did in our house, and a place was made for the pigeonhole. So it was opened, and for a very long time, it was left open. So that when it's breezy, you will see wind coming from there and all of those. So she saw it. She was like, she was pointing at it. Hey, daddy was pointing at it, laughing. And in her mind now, she was laughing that our house is open. Say, this guy, if I knock you. So after some time, we just closed it. The day we closed, she just came back from school. She was passing that passage to her room. She noticed that there's a difference immediately. I said, eh? So I was, when my wife came back, I hope she's not online or so I'll not sleep outside. My wife came back. She didn't even know, she just passed there to our room too. She didn't know. I said, Madam, do you notice anything changed? She said, no. I said, your daughter is even more environmental aware than you. So what do I say? Look up, go to the person and look. You changed it. I said, immediately she came in, she found out. So you have to be aware of your physical environment, of your professional environment, and various kind of environments. Proper in and outer balance. You have to balance your inner self, and that's why I see people do yoga, okay? Do exercise, and you see all this. Once people that does exercise very well, they have that high self-control, so many of them, great sense of freedom, self-autonomy, more contented, self-appreciation. Yes, appreciate yourself, self-appreciation. Bold, confident, great conversationalist, and open-minded. Yes, open-minded. I in a WhatsApp group which day somebody called another person dear. Thank you, dear. I said, dear. I don't like it. Take exception. Because she's married. I'm someone's husband. I'm like, what is in dear? Even in letter we used to write dear sir. What is in dear? Say no, that we have to seek permission to call dear. I say, well, anyway, I will agree. It's true. Because in kind of world we are going today where a lot of things is changing. In fact, you can call a lady a he, a she, and she will sue you that she's not a she, she's a he, you know. So I say, well, like, I understand that. I say, even to hug somebody, you have to take permission. I say, well, but that is where emotional intelligence also comes in. You also look at what does this person. So I look at it, the pros and cons. I made a joke out of it, but I understood that, well, one needs to understand boundaries. So that's also part of emotional intelligence. See positivity in whatever they do. Yes, even when something goes wrong, I can't remember what it is. Sorry, I always like using examples of myself, but I can't remember what this one is, and I was like, well, though this one it didn't work out as we planned, but let's just see the emotional, the positive part of it, and we all laughed about it. High focused, high connection with self, and so let's proceed. Those that have low intelligence, what do we see? Do we have anything in the okay, so nothing. Great feeling of loneliness. I'm going to give, there's a clear example of this in my life. When I bought my first vehicle, in fact, I bought a bike like 3 years before I even got a vehicle. When I got my bike, the day I got my bike, the whole world knew I got a bike. There's this bike called Rubber. That was my first bike. When I got that bike, oh God, I was the richest person as far as I'm concerned at that point in time. Then they were selling 120,000 naira, and I could buy it with my money, not loan, nothing money, and I still had cash to fuel it. So when I was so happy. If you see, when I was driving to my house with my friend, I carried at the back, he was begging me, easy. Oh. The bike was running 160. That's total speedometer. I was doing 120 with the bike that day. He was begging me. I was so happy. I got to the compound. I was making noise with the bike. I was so happy. After I got When I got to my house, of course, he left. I was on my own, feeling very happy. I was very happy. Now, flip the coin. When I got car, right? Say I should be happy. I wasn't happy. I was feeling lonely. At the end, I was asking, why did I even buy this car? So at that point, I knew it was years later now when I did it. I know at that point, what I was having was what I was. It's the characteristics of when me not having a good proportion of emotional intelligence. I was feeling low. You just stay on your own. This life, I feel like killing myself. All this is low emotional intelligence that also cause it. You have more fear. Fear, you're scared of everything. You are scared of everything. Me, I can be very daring. I remember when I was in school, a particular cult group had to call me, say, I must tell them which cult I belong. I belong to one. Because the way I used to dare people. I will even write letter to the what is this thing called? To the VC, write letter to the Dean of Student Affairs. This thing people are doing is not good. Stop it. Students are paying. And I was like, nothing. I'm not even an engineer of the states. So, but when you don't have good emotional intelligence, you are just scared. No, when it's as small as when you someone just do, hey, you're already scared, you're shaking. Oh, my heart, I didn't expect that. It's also a form of low emotional intelligence. Great frustration with self. You're just angry at yourself. You are trying to open a door. You're doing the car door or the house door, banging it, breaking it, doing all sorts of things. Please, that is characteristics of low emotional intelligence. Then for sure others, you're just angry at everybody, anything they do. And you. And this is another example. And thank God, one or two persons from the group is even here. I think yesterday or day first, I can't remember when a guy and a girl was having backlash in the group in a particular group where we are, and they began to insult themselves. And some of us are trying to make comedy out of it. Oh, it's okay now, stop. You like yourself, all those kind of different kind of things were coming up. So at the point, the girl backed off and left. The guy still came and was still talking. We were holding the guy and myself. I was just surprised when I was but guy, this is not. He just attacked me. I was like, Jesus. Me again. He was giving everybody. If you just talk, he will give you. At the end, we have to remove the guy. So who knows what is going through? But that could be a form of frustration and low emotional intelligence, feeling guilty. Oh, it is me that. There is one movie, very old-time movie. They call the movie Do Maybe. If you have not seen that movie, maybe you should go and check it. It may be there. I don't know. It was acted by Niedo or who. I actually laughed all through that movie. Niedo and Andy. What's his name? Kenneth Okonkwo. And Andy is a very rich man and married to maybe a village girl. So a particular scene where Dumebi broke a glass cup. She hasn't seen a glass cup before. So she broke that glass cup and she shouted, Dumebi, Akuan cup, that Dumebi have broken cup. She will be shouting it. And her husband, that is Kenneth, will be saying, it's okay. He said, no, Dumebi. That's how she was shouting it. And after some minutes, when she's on her own again, she will still shout it again. So that's low emotional intelligence. I'm using all this example that we can relate with, okay? Greater feeling of inner emptiness. You feel like you have no value. Greater inner instability. You are neither here nor there. Inconsistency. That's just what we say. Inconsistency. More bitterness. You just remember what someone did to you 10 years ago. You'll be like, I feel like getting back at this person. If not because of I have drove past this guy, I would have gone back and insulted him. Depression. Speak to somebody. More sense of pressurized obligation. You have to do this. Many of us are on this table. We feel like without us, our family will suffer and die. So therefore, we are just sending all our money without saving, without thinking of tomorrow, thinking about if I don't have my job, what will happen financially? Without you, the family will still succeed. So you're just putting that pressure on you. I'm the one carrying my mother, my father, and my sisters, and her husband, my brother and her husband, my this, my that. You are putting obligations that are not your own on your head. Okay. More letter G. All right. I didn't check up that meaning. Sorry. High disappointment. high disappointment. Okay. More anger towards others, yes. Towards self, great resentment, great sense of dependency. You just believe that you can't do it. There's nothing you can do. You have to always be on others. Feeling victimized. Yes, I have to talk about that. Feeling victimized. Some people always like playing the victim. Don't you know because I'm a woman, that is why. Because you are more educated than me. Because yesterday, Dr. Ifama told us about a couple that was always having problems because of issue of victimization, low self-esteem. You know, I think the man or the woman, I don't know which of them, was always feeling like, is it because of? So let's stop having those kind of because of feelings. What motivates you? What motivates you? Take time to think about it. Take time. Then, if you wish, you can put it out in our chat room. Okay, let me narrow it down for you. What motivates you professionally? Let me put it like that. What motivates you professionally? I think that's we can say that easily. So on the chat room, I want to say that what motivates you professionally? Did it come from inside, or is it from outside? Most people are not motivated to do a difficult, uninteresting activity. It's natural. It's natural. Yesterday class, we said, and that's really natural with human being, people will naturally not do those things they don't have more capacity to do. And they will naturally do those things they are more proficient and efficient in doing. For example, myself, instead of me to wash 3 clothes, let me cook 10 soups. Are you getting it? Instead of me to just wash 3 shirts, I rather cook 10 soups. So why? Because I feel like cooking is my thing. It gives me opportunity to be more creative, gives me opportunity to do other things. But washing that 3 clothes, keeping that 10 minutes or 15 minutes to wash that cloth, I'm not using my hands to do any other thing than washing that cloth. I'm not thinking about any other thing than how to make that cloth clean. Okay. Juliet, you said the last point is you. Which point is that exactly? Is it victimization or this one on what motivates you? They are motivated to obtain the results of unpleasant activities. If you are not motivated to do something, you either have to figure out what you want. You have not figured out what you want out of the activity. So you have to have objective first. What do you want to achieve? Okay. Or do not value what the activity will produce. That could also be a factor. Or you are focused on short-term thinking instead of the long-term thinking. So this could be 3 factors. So of course, emotional intelligence is very important in our various lives, and everyone is encouraged to be emotionally intelligent. And in it, we have self-motivation. Self-motivation. Beautifully, we have a session for that to show you the importance. Every other thing falls in. Once you get your self-motivation right, every other thing will fall in place. How is that? I'm in the HR, and by God's grace, I've interacted with maybe 10,000 people within my career, just on career grounds. And when I did the 10,000 are maybe junior and senior colleagues. And one of the things that I have seen that give clarity, nothing gives more clarity than being self-motivated. When you're self-motivated, it's self-motivation that can make you just look at and maybe take a bow and leave a particular job and be like, no, this is not what I want at a point in time of my life. You must be self-driven. When you're internally driven, external things will not be the one to guide you. But like we said here, reading motivational books will inspire you temporarily. Yes. You can motivate yourself. You do not have to depend on external factors. So is it your family? Is it the zeal to see yourself as maybe a sales director? So Dogo said creative, building, design, motive, and make me professional. Okay. So why should you strive to become self-motivated? What are the reasons? One of the reasons I know, even without this, is that it takes you off pressure. It takes you off pressure. So you'll not be like this thing that we said in our last lecture about someone. Is it in this lecture or yesterday? Where you are 30 and you're not married, or you are short if you are not tall, or you are too dark. Once you are self-motivated, maybe because of how you are created, you don't need anybody to validate. Oh, you are too short, you are too tall, or you are not tall. So it takes away pressure from you. It puts you in control. You don't need to wait for someone to motivate you. It don't have to make you to feel guilty. You feel better about yourself at all times. You will not procrastinate, and hence will face lesser stress by avoiding wasting of time. You can greatly increase your happiness and productivity by increasing your optimism and by being aware of your feeling and the root cause of your feelings. So when you're angry, ask yourself exactly, why am I angry? Why am I angry? What exactly am I angry at? I ask that question a lot. So why this? Why this and that? Okay, we are almost done. So John Smith works as a sales manager at IIPM. He worked well in this organization and he's a good leader and an amicable person. He is known to have great rapport with both his subordinates and as well his seniors. He leads his team with great diligence and care as an understanding boss. An IQ test was conducted by the HR department on all employees of IIPM to understand the need for any kind of training and development program of the person with the lowest EQ. Of course, it was no surprise that John scored the highest in our EQ test. So John's high emotional intelligence is very important to us in the institute here because he has contributed to the great extent in his excellent leadership, which myself am learning. Let us also see how John's high emotional intelligence has helped in achieving this. John feels that there is need for strengthening and improving the relationship between team members in IIPM. Presently, the members of the sales team are cautious and share a harmonious relationship with each other. However, there's a need to bring them together. So John decided upon a strategy to do this. He decided that he will set aside a few hours every week for team meeting. Do you do team meeting in your office? Do you do team meeting in your office? No, you don't. Monday morning, you're a boss, you just come and everybody is running to their beat. Everybody's running. There's no team meeting, no coordination. In office, we call it coordination. No coordination. Everybody just do whatever they want. Everybody just do whatever they like. You have to charge your team when you come for the week. Use that meeting as a booster. Use that meeting to set a direction. Use that meeting to guide them. Use that meeting to correct behavioral patterns, procedural patterns, professional patterns, cultural patterns that are deviations. Use that meeting to strategize. Use that meeting as a team bonding. How many times people do team bonding activities in your office or as a team? I'm planning one now for a particular group. Just let us just come and sit down. Don't come with your money. We don't need your money. Just come. Even if it's only pure water we drink, just come. Let us just sit down. Organize all these things. It doesn't cost anything to organize. You don't have to get canopy. Have meetings. Have pep talk. And it should not always be you must if you don't do this, you will do this. If you don't do that, you will do this. No, don't create those kind of fears. Give solution, give ideas. Okay. It's also a meeting where you can gather information from. All right, so let's proceed. So we can see from real life example how John has been able to use this tool. Also, they would learn to work more cohesive as team and helping each other. Each employee will start to look at his team member as an associate to help him or her to achieve rather than a competitor. At my workplace, there are some tasks that when I give, I'll hear that conversation. They'll say, "Oh, God demanded for this in the go." And will say, he doesn't play with his timeline. What they will do, all of them will come together. They'll suspend the other tasks, so they'll come together, help that particular person who appears to be maybe one of the weakest person in the team achieve that particular goal. The person will submit to me. When I know who have done this thing, but I mean, there are places that you don't have to raise eyebrows at all time as a leader. So, how to manage anger effectively? How to manage anger effectively? This is very, very important. One of the ways, keep your voice low, breathe slowly. There's tendency of always raising your voice, shouting, count to 10. Yes, you see this strategy. I use it very well. Okay. And one of my friends, I wish he was online, you can attest to that. We use it very well. Then, think before you react, hit a pillar or cushion, throw safe into the container, go for a walk. What else? And let's even take that, go for a walk. Yeah. Myself, those days, if I'm very angry, maybe except from now that fuel is not very expensive. If I'm angry that time, I'll just carry my car and go and drive, enter. There's airport road in Abuja. It's very free. It's not like Lagos airport road. When you enter airport road in Abuja, you can drive kind of speed you want. When I do that, I feel cool. I'll just go back to my house. But now that fuel is expensive, if I'm angry, I'll just stay in my house and drive in my mind. Okay, so write your feelings down, tear up newspaper, shout at in a safe place, pretend to talk to the person, take a walk or engage in some other physical activities, perform relaxation exercise, read a book. Yeah, depends on which one works for you. Listen to music. Like my type now, if I'm angry, I can't listen to music. Maybe if I see a movie, I'll be better. So watch television, yeah. Talk or call a friend, yeah. I also do this a lot. Yesterday, even up this morning, I was discussing with a friend of mine. So okay, though not in aspect of anger, but just something that was bothering me. So talk and call a friend. Write in your journal. Now let me just write in your journal, not diary. Why some of us don't usually appreciate the diary thing is that at this point, some of us will go and write and keep that in the mind. Then when there is now, you say, it's even in my diary, the day you offended me, it was 31st of January when the sun was shining. That was when, so you can just write solutions and key points in your journal and not necessarily what the person have done to you, how the person have offended you. Complete chores if you have any pending. How to avoid apathy. Apathy. How to avoid apathy. What's apathy? Dislike, not liking a particular thing, right? So it depends. First of all, you have to identify what you have apathy for. What is that thing you have apathy for? So when you identify it, when you identify what you have apathy for, sorry. I'm in a class, I'll call you back. I'll call you back. So change your self-talk. You know, how you talk about yourself, model people you want to be, mirror people you want to be like, okay? Mirror people you want to be like. Try avoid being pessimistic or hanging around negative people. Negative energy rubs on you, okay? Then do not accept put down by others. Cyber bully, professional bully. I wrote an article on it. You can go to our website, IIPM, and check it out. The title of the article is Two Sides of a Coin, Professional or Cyber Bully. Go and read it up. Don't accept when people are putting you down. That does not mean you should be disrespectful or rude, okay? Acknowledge, compliment, and feel good. Set the work and accomplish achieved goals. Find a mentor. How many of us have a mentor? Some of us have mentors. We are discussing that again in the particular WhatsApp. We have a mentor that we cannot reach. Looking for one big mentor. Whereas people around you that are there, find people who are successful in a particular career that you're admiring. Is it in sales you want to go into? There are people who you can access, you can chat up, you can discuss with even up to 1 a.m. Don't go and find one visionary person that don't know that you exist, that you can't reach. Avoid comparison with others. Some of us that are on LinkedIn, when you go on LinkedIn, you see people, someone came to me and said, your profile is rich. Can I do to get your profile? I said, no, don't do like to get my profile. Just be yourself, just doing your thing. When I was doing my LinkedIn, I was not doing to be like anybody else. Nobody I was looking up to in LinkedIn. Even up to now, there's nobody I'm looking up to in profile-wise. I was just doing, it was just one post I did one day. Within 48 hours, over 2,000 persons have followed me. Over 2,000 persons have followed me. And I was like, what is in this post? Over 600 shared that post. So just don't compare yourself with others. Be yourself. Take action to improve your self-image. Brand yourself. Don't go on social media and be typing jargons. Build your self-image very well. By so doing, you attract positive people to follow you, to like you. That is building relationship. In the HR space, there was a post I made one day. Immediately I did it. Some of you will know the name. Yemi Fashion just followed me. I was like, eh? Yemi Fashion followed me. I was surprised. So build your self-image. From there, we start talking, we start chatting. From there, we exchange numbers. And it's okay, anytime I come to Abuja, we'll see. That is relationship already that has been established. So build your image, both offline and online. Practice acts of kindness. Practice act of kindness and for others and feel good about yourself. All right. So we are almost done with this module. And so principles of building your EQ, get to know about other people, be concerned about other people, know what they like, what they dislike, know about their family. Oh, you have a pet, you have a dog. Oh, what's the name of your dog? Oh, you love dogs, right? Oh, what about you? So I also love dog. Oh, you like to rear goats. Oh, okay. Get involved in their life, get to know them. Try to build a personal bond with others, okay? Especially their family, their wife, their kids, their husband. People like it if you tell a woman and that I saw your husband was looking very good. She was very happy. Women, we like when they talk good about our husband. So communicate clearly and positively. Communicate clearly and positively. Keep in touch with others. Keep in touch with others. Remember, like I said at the beginning, those people you've not reached out to for a very long time, go and reach out to them. Share data with relevant people. Share data with relevant people. This morning, I came across a sales and financial data. I just circulated it across. I do that very well. If you go to my LinkedIn page, you see that I'll just there and post various templates. The other day, I developed a template for employee handbook, various kind of templates, and I shared on my LinkedIn for free. Share it for free by still doing people are coming to people now are following you because they know they're getting value. Take other people's opinion and make decision while making decision for a group. Use collaboration, seek input from others, and offer support. Be a good team members. Of course, there are also bad team members. There are people that you don't pray to be in your team. So don't be that person. Be a good team member. Promote understanding. Okay, keep yourself motivated. Keep people informed about your work methods. And yes, I also spoke about methods, not just results. When you achieve a result, you need to see how you achieve it. That is the methodology. Okay, I think I also have a post on that, which I made yesterday. You can check that up on LinkedIn and on Facebook. You can use my hashtag OrganHR to get it. Okay. Give respect so that you can also be respected. If you don't respect your bosses, you can't, your subordinates to not respect you. Use intelligence while dealing with people. Study the temperature of the room to know what to say and what not to say. Say no to drugs. Say no to drugs. Then eat well, eat well, eat well, sleep well, rest well. It's very important. Do exercise. When last did you do exercise? When last did you do yoga? When last did you do anything that exercises your body? How often do you even drink water? Use proper stress method. What's your stress method? Don't go and use the one that it's not medically correct or legally correct. Use proper method to ease stress. Some people, when they are stressed, they'll go and they'll say, it's when I drink 12 bottles of alcohol, that's when I can ease my stress. No. You're just doing harm to yourself. Have a mentor. This is coming up again. A lot of us don't have mentors. Some of us have mentors just for short-term gains. I see that especially on LinkedIn. I want to be my mentor. When you check that person very well, after 1 week, the person is like, I'm looking for a job. It's not. It's not. Have a mentor. Be in contact with a person. I wish I could. One of my mentors yesterday that we are chatting. I made a particular question. No, of course I can do it. I shouldn't be doing like this. I shouldn't be doing official for him now. So have a mentor that can always, when you are in touch, I know the name of his kids. I know the name of his wife. I'm involved like that in his life. And every other of my mentor, when they comment, when they post on Facebook, I go there and comment. Every day, when they post, I must comment. I must like. Practice good EQ skill. So all this we are saying here is not just for saying sake. You have to see how you can also be doing it. Then the next is that you have to meditate daily. You have to meditate daily. Maintain a journal for your daily activity. So have a book where you have to do. I have my book. I wish my video was on that. I showed you my book. For those that know me, then I'm always with a book. Maintain an emotional log to track and control your emotions. Use proper feedback technique and reports. So, recommendation for training and development for AI. One of the things you should do is avoid any kind of regress in the progress of individuals. Evaluate the job responsibility, job profile, assess the individual skills and personality for proper placement, encourage each other to be better person and give a better direction. Judge the readiness of individual to undergo training as well, because it has to do with the mind. Administer assessments with proper care and instructions. Give feedback on performance, provide offline support, encourage verbal communications, manage your goals properly, motivate each others to be a higher and better performer, reinforce change where you've made some change, reinforce it, let people see that this is to be done. Evaluate your process again, provide a model that should be followed, encourage people to practice. That will be all for now. Thank you so much. Thank you and thank you. And at this point, Mr. Damilola, our coordinator, I'll be calling you now to come, or our deputy coordinator, any of them available, can take over.
Oh, sorry, my microphone had been locked and I've been speaking without knowing that my microphone was locked. Oh God, I'm so sorry. Okay, so this is going to be the last section for today. Um, we will continue our section tomorrow by 10 a.m. So if you have not made your payment, please, we encourage you to go ahead and make your payment, and then we'll see you tomorrow by 10 a.m. Meanwhile, we will be shutting down right now, but we need someone from the YouTube and someone from the in class to give Dr. Mike a shout out as we round up this section. Please kindly confirm that you can hear me. My mic was muted. Okay, so if you can hear me, kindly unmute, and let's have a thank you to Dr. Mike. So let someone from YouTube give us a thank you to Dr. Mike, and then someone from Zoom to give us a thank you. So from YouTube, obviously, it's going to be a test in the comment section, and then from the Zoom, you can unmute and let's hear from you. Can we do that very fast? Okay, so our section continues tomorrow by 10 a.m. Nigerian time, and then it is going to be much more practical tomorrow. So we're going to be doing more of evaluation. Thank you so much, Mr. Dogo Jacob. And thank you so much to everyone. So join us again tomorrow by 10 a.m. In case you've not made your payment, please, the information about payment is on the screen. Please endeavor to take this opportunity to have a certification or have a certificate in emotional intelligence. Some years ago, I think that should be 2020 or 2019, we had a program for lecturers, or we had a program on emotional intelligence where lecturers of University of Lagos were in attendance. And then we told them then that that particular certificate they were having at that point, which was on emotional intelligence, we told them that it was a discounted program. Now, about 2 years later, one of the lecturers reached out and she said, I did social program. Say, yes, we remember. Said, okay, I want to make my payment now and collect my certificate. We're like, okay, we sent her the cost of the program as it was that particular time. And she said, no, when we did it, it was also amount. We said that was a discounted program. So this is the current amount. Okay, and she felt sad. Okay, she felt sad. Like, so we are also telling you now that this program is currently discounted. After July 13th, which is tomorrow, should you have need for this certificate, we'll ask you to pay for the actual fee. Okay, we'll ask you to pay for the actual fee. And on this note, we would like to say one more time, thank you, and do have a wonderful time. So see you tomorrow, 10 a.m.